How's it going, everyone? Yep, Movie and Game Lover 98 here, and welcome to part 2 of my Thomas Home Media Collection stream, the 2023 edition. When we last left off, I showed you guys the first couple of releases from Thomas Gets Tricked to Hooray for Thomas, and I'll provide the link for anyone who wants to join. And hey, howdy, hey to you, Thomas's Media Corner 2001. Let me provide the link really quick. And hey, Thomas MLP fan 123. Dale Adams, can I join? I don't think that's gonna do anything good, Dale Adams. I don't want to experience any issues.
Hey.
Hey, Jesus. And how are you doing, Jesus? Good?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the part 2 of my stream, where I show off my Thomas Home Media collection, the whole version. I also have these two guys if necessary. William and Thomas LP fan, welcome as well. How are you guys doing? Good?
Doing very good.
Yes.
And Thomas PBS program breaker says, I hope Flick could love a joint. I don't think he can join Thomas PBS fan program breaker. He said, just go ahead and have fun with my stream. I know you don't want to cause any trouble, Dale Adams, but at least you can chat and say what stuff you've been up to recently. But yeah, for this stream, let's start off with Thomas' Story Celebration.
I have it.
Yep, you do, William. And yeah, I knew the funny things in the Thomas' Storybook Adventure, Jesus.
Well, what's funny on the Thomas' Storybook Adventure?
Yes, when you choose the wrong option. Well, actually, there's one where Tom gives out different speeches. Basically, when you can't, when you didn't quite win the thingy.
Here's mine copy. Mine has. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, mine has Hero of the Rails trailer.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is that your Mario hat?
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Play the funny things on Thomas' Storybook Adventure. Like when you choose the wrong option on Quarry game, the gravel will spill all over the ground. Did you do this on this and the Greatest Stories, which is gonna be much later, hopefully?
Yeah. If you choose the wrong thing on the car, on the sleigh on the car.
No, on the crates. If you choose the wrong option, the gravel will spill all over the tracks. And also in the segment where you have to choose if you want Percy to help you or not. The 3 options are wrong and is right.
I'll do that sometime. To make
this,
it real.
Like you said, this and the Great Discovery.
I like how it comes in a red case.
That's cool. I know some copies did come. Some people say that theirs in a black case, but I like this red case.
Same here.
It's echoing Gary Williams. No, it's not. At least these 3 guys' audios are not making the echo. And Thomas and PBS fan program breaker says, if I noticed in the UK version of this, the dialogue is different times. Well, I know that because I know they say Fat Controller instead of Sir Tom Hat. But I know, yes, since you would do the funny things on both this release and the Greatest Stories. Oh, wait, he's muted.
Every Thomas DVD has good artwork, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Thomas's Sword Celebration, I recommend that release. Yeah, song from the station.
The Songs of Shoulder game is on Percy and the Bandstand.
Yeah.
I played that on Percy and the Bandstand, actually.
And this release. And Thomas fan, Wiggles fan, number symbol 1000 says, can I add to the stream? I'm not sure if that'll work. I mean, if you just want to publicly chat, that's fine, Thomas F. Wiggles fan, number symbol 1000. But yeah, if you guys pick a favorite.
Silly disc.
Yeah.
I got this song from the station from the with Thomas event.
Oh, you did? Thomas
Yeah.
fan 123?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome PBS fan program breaker says, not that. In the original version, the fishermen are celebrating their biggest catch of fish ever. Thomas, you must help Arthur take the fish to the docks. Well, I know that from the season 8 version of Fish. But yeah. Yes. Songs from the station. This has 8 songs. All the rest had, well, technically Sing Along and Stories does have 8 songs because there's a bonus song. It's great to be an engine on that release. There's the disc for Song Station. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this, like, just show every release without showing the discs this time. Sorry this was taking a while to get started, guys. You know, well, I unfortunately had to put a lot of Scotch tape on this part of my tripod is trying to fall over, and I gotta be really careful. But yeah, Songs on the Station, yes, I recommend this release. And next up, Percy Saves the Day.
I remember getting this at Menards in 2005. That was the only Thomas CD they had there because it came with the metallic wheel Percy when I got it.
Yeah. Isn't that a shame?
Somewhat.
Percy Saves the Day. Luckily, I have no faded artwork on either of this artwork. Yeah, who does not like the old bridge?
I think it wasn't that bad when I was a kid, but now as an adult, I think it's kind of.
Well, the old bridge isn't that bad, but
But at least it has a moral saying, overcoming your fears.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Percy Saves the Day. Yep, I recommend that release. Calling All Engines is next.
The first special in 2005.
Yeah, and Jerry Williams says I can watch you guys. Yeah, I think it's best if you just watch us. Yeah, hold on a second.
Sure thing.
Hold on. Yeah. Thomas PBS fan program breaker says the old bridge is a mediocre episode, to be fair, but at least it's better than the later Scarlotti episodes. Okay, I understand that, yeah. Calling Legends, I know some people have a lot of flaws with this movie.
Yeah, here's mine.
Yeah, it's the Calling Legends Lionsgate version of yours.
Yeah, but it's badly. It's in a bad condition.
Yeah. Yep, Calling Legends is in a red case. Is in a red case, but I know the Universal version is in a black case, but which, you know, I don't like the Lionsgate or Universal version. Oh, it's also in a red case. Okay, the 2009 version. Okay.
well, I got 2 versions of Calling All Engines.
Both don't have the 60th anniversary logo, but I have 3 that do. Yeah, the Universal version does really suck because there's no bonus features. You only have the option to select a scene and play the movie, and that's it. They don't even use the play once or play continuously option when you push play movie on the Universal version. Yeah, no one likes reprints, Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker.
If you look closely, James doesn't even half of his tender's missing.
Yeah, you can see barely of his tender.
What you do, Entertainment? You hurt my tender.
Trek Stars. Next, I put Trek Stars first as the first release in 2006 because it says on the disc that this originally was being produced in 2005, but it didn't release until February of 06. Yeah, I was like, Hit Entertainment was messing up this order. They should have released this at the start of 2006.
2006
yeah,
is pretty cool for me.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool year.
I'm not sure what's the coolest.
I'm planning to get Trek Stars in the action pack.
Yeah, it comes Steamies vs. Diesels and some other releases. I mean, if you don't like Bob the Builder or Fireman Sam, Jesus, that's fine.
Well, I still like Bob the Builder and Fireman Sam.
Okay. But I mean, unfortunately, the Bob the Builder in that action pack has ones from the CGI 2009 version of Bob the Builder, which is not good era, and the reboot.
That's from 2010, actually.
Okay, it's 2010 DVD, but Bob the Builder went CGI the same year as full CGI as Thomas.
Yeah.
Without Thomas Really Brave Engines.
Another favorite of mine, one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah.
I like this blue around it.
I hope you get Thomas the Really Brave Engine soon.
Yeah, I saw an auction for the VHS, brand new, and it was over $200. I was like, what the heck? I'm not paying for that much. Especially if I have a cheap DVD copy. That was like a few dollars when I got it at Big Lots.
This is the only DVD to have John Douglas on the cover.
I got the double feature.
Yeah, and Thomas Gets Bumped is the only one to have Donald on the back cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has the model series version of Troublesome Trucks.
That was my jam when I was little.
Yeah. And Tales from the Tracks. Yep, here it is.
Oh, I have Tales from the Tracks.
Is it the Lionsgate version or is it the original?
Lionsgate, actually.
Oh, okay, because if that's in the 4-disc set.
That's right.
Yeah,
Boss.
Tales from the Tracks is kind of like the hardest VHS to get because it was the very... Because you know, like, I heard some theories saying why VHS is hard to find because it was only released for a short amount of time in 2006 in the stores. This was right around Blu-ray was coming out. Yes, there's a goof on the back where it has Thomas wearing the Day Out with Thomas face on the model.
Yeah, I don't know why would they do this.
Because, like I said, it was found in the scenes of the music video Every Day is a Special Day on Sodor. But yeah. And also, yes, this is the only way to watch Day and Night because the Day and Night song is not on the VHS version of Tales from the Tracks.
I didn't even know that. I thought it did.
Yeah. I didn't know either. But yeah, next up, let's go to On Site with Thomas, the first half of the pack.
I might get the Canadian one.
Like, by itself.
Yeah, by itself.
Yeah, I just like... Yeah, and it's also funny on some Wooden Train bonus packs of this, they list George Carlin by accident, but Michael Brandon is listed at the bottom.
Carlin would have been
Weird, right?
Yeah, that would be silly if George Carlin narrated all these episodes.
He would be 69 if he narrated them.
Well, yeah, he would be 70 in 2007, yes, because 71 is the age he passed away in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, rest in peace, George Carlin. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Let's look at Thomas's Halloween Adventures next.
I hope I could get Thomas's Halloween Adventures.
Yeah, I decided for this version, you know, like the glow-in-the-dark slipcover has the CGI Thomas, which kind of reminds me of Curious Cargo in a way. I just got this version because it reminds me of the original DVD by itself, or in the slim case if you got it by itself in a slim case. Yeah. Also, like some people say, like none of these episodes make sense to be on this release.
Here is
Yeah, you know some episodes that
Some-
are. You know what was weird? Which weird choices were to be put on this release? Say like Thomas gets tricked, for instance, was a weird choice. But anyway, yeah. Thomas's Halloween Adventures I recommend. Let me see if I can. And Thompson PBS Program Breaker fan says, "What is all that noise that has caused confusion and delay?" He says, "No, it's actually what is all this fuss and bother it has caused confusion and delay."
What causes confusion and delay?
All this fuss and bother, he should have said, not what's all that noise. But yeah, let's see. Oh wait, someone left. I think William left. But yeah, let's see if I can hold it this time. Thomas's Halloween Adventures. I don't know why Thomas Gets Tricked was put on this. I mean, it says tricked on there because you know he gets played. He gets tricked by Gordon or something. I don't know. Yeah, Thomas's Halloween Adventures. I recommend this. Next up, Come Ride the Rails.
I have that one. I'm gonna show that to you.
It's a Lionsgate version of yours, Thomas MLP Fan 123.
yeah.
Mine too.
Hang on. William's trying to get back in.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Went off.
Come Ride the Rails. This is the last release to include a Wiggles trailer in the sneak peeks.
That'd be the. What was the last trailer? I think it's Splish Splash Beer Boat Work Around the Clock. I forgot which one.
I think it's Splish Splash Big Red Boat. And next up has a lazy menu milkshake muddle. But I know some people ask, which one do you prefer? You want better picture quality but with a good menu? Or something with good picture quality but this menu is still lazy? Which one did you guys prefer? Have a release with lazy menu but has good quality? Or one with a good menu but the picture quality is kind of mediocre?
Yeah, it has a lazy menu along with Carnival Capers, Engines and Escapades, Ultimate Friendship Adventures.
Oh, Thomas PBS Fan Program Breaker says there's a goof in the credits? What's that goof in the credits, Thomas PBS Fan Program Breaker? Well, I was just answering the question. I was answering what goof is he mentioning about the credits in Milkshake Model?
Excuse me.
Maybe are you mentioning like this? It still shows the old Hit Entertainment logo at the end of the credits, or despite it has the new Hit logo, it's the first new series released to have a new hit logo. Because I watched this DVD a few times, Milkshake Model.
I watched this recently and yesterday. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I know it has. Oh, that's the goof. I know. I know because it says 2006 copyright Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker. Despite this, well, because season 9 is from 2005, but it says 2006 because I guess they for some reason they use the season 10 end credits, which is like the shortened version of. Because the credits are almost the same as, except they place the short version of it in season 10. Because this was after all of season 10 broadcasted on television, but we're not going to see a season 10 home media release till much later. But yeah, Milkshake Model will say, I still recommend this, even though I wish they had an option to view the stories and songs more.
I agree, man.
Because if you think Mattel was worse, I think Fox was also terrible at making Thomas DVDs.
23
Friends. What's this? Which one did you notice this time? Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker. I'm not sure. And yes, these pictures, the one picture of Jack is different from On Site with Thomas. They use the same picture from a friend meeting with Alfie and Isabella, but the Jack one is changed. Yeah, that's another reason I didn't get that double feature of Thomas's Trusty Friends and On Site with Thomas, MLP Fan 123.
I got the double features of On Site with Thomas and Thomas's Trusty
One
Friend.
second, please.
Shoot.
Yeah, I'm planning to get Thomas's Trusty Friends.
Okay. That's cool. And a goof in that release is that after the One Friendly Family song is over, Thomas's whistle is heard during Percy's transition for some reason. Huh, that's interesting. Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker. Originally when Thomas aired in 2004, the season 8 credits was extended like the intro, but then later in 2006, have the season 8 end credits shorter like seasons 9 through 10. Well, this is true because, season 11 is also the short version as well when it aired in 2007. But yeah, now let's move on to Carnival Capers.
I have 2 copies of them.
Actually, 2 copies too, Jesus, but one does not have a slipcover, and this one does have a slipcover. The reasons why is I wanted to replace that 2008 Lionsgate version in Whistle Express collection with this Calling Legends and Milkshake Model, which I just showed Milkshake Model 2 releases ago.
This one has original, actually.
Okay.
This one. Oh. This always happened to me. This one has Lionsgate.
Yeah, I guess they finally used it but for some reason on the 2008 Lionsgate version, it still plays the original version.
Yeah.
But yeah, did I tell you? I'm not going to show you this, Jesus. I'll just tell you. I have an insert for my Carnival Capers. I got through a lot on eBay.
William, why you have the disc only to this?
I don't have a case for it, unfortunately.
Oh, you lost it? I'm sorry you lost it, William.
It's alright.
But does it have Lionsgate previous, William?
Mine is the original. I'm not much of a Lionsgate reprint fan of the new series.
Yeah, me either,
Last
William. I
series,
like the
Last series reprints of Lionsgate, that's fine with me, but I'm not much of a fan of the Lionsgate reprints on the new series.
Yeah. But yeah, next up, Thomas the Toy Workshop.
Aaron.
This one, Michael Brandon doesn't even say the tile's allowed, because like he did it with season 8. But on PBS Kids airings, he does say them allowed. Michael Brandon.
There we go. Whew. It's chilly in the house.
Oh, that's cool that they were recorded. Well, no, it had the best camera quality in seasons 8 through 11 because it was recorded in 720p. I think it was 50 FPS. Thompson PBS Fan Program Breaker. But yeah, also Toy Workshop. I like how it's detailed. They put the blocks in the word toy. And hold on a second.
Oh, that's what fun is.
But yeah, Thompson Toy Workshop, yes. This one can play all game, paint my color in all versions. Tommy, I don't think we should add another person. Well, hey, when it echoes during Williams, well, you're not even in the stream. That's why I'm not experiencing any issues now. Did you? I don't know why you just called Movie and Game Lover by his first name, Darian Williams. I have a wand. Seriously, why would someone have a wand? Oh my god. Yeah, I
got this Lionsgate
actually
release.
got Christmas the same year it came out, guys. Even though I just could have got it when it came out, but I didn't know how to pre-order stuff back in the day. And yeah, I think William left again. But yeah, Thomas the Toy Workshop, I recommend this release. I mean, yeah, also back then I used to like the Brave Little Engine song, but I didn't really like it that much anymore.
Why?
Because the weird children singing kind of give me the creeps sometimes.
That's funny.
And let me get William back in. I don't know why he keeps exiting out of the stream. What the heck? And Anchor Bay, you're talking about Thompson PBS Fan Program Breaker. Yeah. Next up, we got Ultimate Christmas.
Have it on holiday favorites.
Yeah, did you know that that version actually did fix that error where the audio does not go out of sync on Thompson Percy's Mountain Adventure, but on this OG one it does for some reason?
Hold on. Yeah, this one has the Day of the Diesels trailer in the beginning.
Yeah, but also doesn't that copy in your doesn't that disc in your copy have that error where that audio does not go out of sync on Thompson Percy's Mountain Adventure, or does it unfortunately still go out of sync towards the end?
I don't know. What about your
Actually, the original version it does, but Enrique Jr. Gomez said in his review, he mentioned on the Lionsgate version it doesn't go out of sync towards the end, but for some reason on the Anchor Bay and Universal ones it does.
Well, it doesn't go out of sync. It does. Well, for the OC, it does.
Yes.
Or
For the original 2007 Anchor Bay release, it does, and as well as Universal version, but the Lionsgate version, for some reason, it doesn't.
Yeah, when I once got on my birthday, it doesn't go out of sync, right?
Yeah, the Lionsgate version says it.
I have the Lionsgate one, which you mean it doesn't go out of sync?
Yes, I watched it from Enrique Jr. Gomez's DV review of Ultimate Christmas last year.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I could get the one with that has the Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure that goes in sync.
I think like if you got it Lionsgate like solo or in the holiday favorites, like I said, I'm pretty sure it does not go out of sync. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the Lionsgate version alone, but even though I don't have it. But yeah, Ultimate Christmas, I will say, I'm actually surprised when I looked at someone's video last year at Christmas. He said happy 15th anniversary. Well, before Christmas came, he said happy 15th anniversary to the last Leapfrog release with the original character designs. And I was actually right. That Leapfrog, that came, the Christmas release, the last one with the original Leapfrog character designs, came a week after this release. Because this was October 23rd, 2007. And the Leapfrog release released a week later before Halloween that year. Which I didn't know. I actually should have brought that up when I reviewed Leapfrog: A Tad of Christmas Cheer back in 2020, but oh well, can't go back and change it. But yeah, Ultimate Christmas. I don't know why they could have just put this in the title card on the intro and just say Ultimate Christmas.
Hey.
Jake Martin, welcome to part 2. I know you missed some of it.
Jake.
That's okay.
Oh yes, I kind of missed showing.
I know you
Thomas
had I know you had stuff to do.
Well,
At
I'm
least-
here now, so here's
Yep.
the DVDs I didn't show.
I-
Got Percy Saves the Day. Like, I got it from thrift store during my trip to Arkansas, and
Yep, Calling All Engines. I already showed that.
yeah, got Calling All Engines, and let's see. Now I got this one, Steam Engine Stories with grab these with Trackside Tunes. Oh yes, Calling All Engines was the final Thomas DVD from 2005.
Yeah. Even though
And
they released a sampler called Core Adventures on Soda, but that's not going to be shown in this collection because I'm showing only main releases only. Yeah, you can just show them and then we'll get to the next releases. I already finished with Ultimate Christmas, the last one of 2007.
well, anyways, here's Track Stars, first one from 2006, even though the disc says 2005.
Yeah, they should have released that one in like January of 06 before Thomas and the Really Revengeance. So that way kids weren't confused.
Here's Tales from the Tracks and Come Ride the Rails, the final one from 2006.
Because Come Ride the Rails was going to get a VHS release, but it got canceled at the last moment because VHS was out of the window for Thomas.
Oh yes, and I know Tales from the Tracks was the final Thomas VHS to come out in the US.
Yeah, because for some reason they didn't do any more.
And at least I got this from eBay back in 2019.
Yep.
Here's Milkshake Muddle, final
Yeah,
one
the
from
one-
2007.
The laziest menu I've seen.
I mean first,
Yeah.
unless
shoot.
I want to count Trust Thomas, but yeah, Thomas's Trusty Friends.
Yep, already showed that one.
I got it for Christmas back in 2019, and Carnival Capers, the only one to have season 10 episodes. Oh yes,
All
Trackstar. Oh, Track Stars was the final one to show season 8. Tales from the Tracks was the first one to show season 9. Then,
Yep.
What else? Oh yes, I got Carnival Capers, also from eBay back in 2019, along with this one, the Sounds of Sodor copy of Thomas and the Toy Workshop.
Nice. Wait,
And with
Bear
this-
Media says I have to stop talking in that voice. That's not really nice to say, Bear Media. I've been talking in this voice since I was like a teenager, I think.
Yeah, not nice. Anyways, here's Ultimate Christmas, which I do have, and I also got
Yep,
it for
I showed that.
Christmas. I also got it for Christmas as well.
That's nice. I have the
And
original version with the slipcover.
This
Yeah,
one
that
has,
that is rude, Darian. Oh, sorry, I was talking to Darian Williams. Yeah, that is rude, Darian Williams, for Bear Media to say to stop talking that voice. Like I said, this has been my voice since I was a teenager.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
I
how
have-
rude. Indeed,
Yeah.
Thomas, PS fan program breaker.
Anyways, this one has the holiday caboose toy. Oh yes, and James Goes Buzz Buzz has the Soda or Honey car thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Ultimate Christmas was the final Thomas and Friends DVD from 2007. And yes,
Yep.
yes, it shows the compilation from Thomas's Christmas Wonderland and Snowy Surprise, and strangely they showed Thomas's Christmas Wonderland title card in the intro, and what else? 2 end credits at the end.
You know, this release with having 2 end credits reminds me of the Dragon Tales School is Cool VHS, where they only played the end credits twice because the 2 sister episodes, what were they? Do Not Pass Gnome and Treasure Hunt were paired together. That's why they only played the end credits twice on that VHS. Whereas the other Dragon Tales VHS tapes, they only played the credits 3 times. They played the end credits 3 times. In DVD, they play it 5 times.
And same goes to SpongeBob on VHS and DVD. Well, some have 4 and some have 5, and I know Nautical Nonsense and Sponge Buddies has 10, and even the
Yeah.
Seascape Papers and other stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And yes, on the booklet, they used the UK title for Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure by using the word Christmas, but it still has George Carlin's narration USA dialogue.
Yeah. Thomas and PBS Fan Programmer says I'm actually being serious about it. Oh, okay, I know what you're saying, Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker.
Okay. Oh, and what?
Mhm.
Oh yes, on my Magic Railroad, Thomas and the Magic Railroad VHS, they made a mistake on the description. If I could find it. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
well,
It says the island of Sordar, but it's really Sodor. Luckily, that's fixed on the DVD. If I could find that correct error, there it is. Let's
yeah.
see. There we go. And also on Best Percy, they mentioned the description for Percy James and the Fruitful Day, saying that when after an argument with James and Percy ended up in a very sticky situation, even though that's later going to be on this one.
Yeah.
Then
And
what
do-
else?
Oh, and let's get to the next Thomas release of the first
Oh,
release
and
of 2008.
And also on New Friends for Thomas, we forgot to mention about the description. Like, it says that Jack is a tractor, even though he's a front loader.
What the heck, Hit Entertainment? Yeah, I forgot to mention that when I was doing part 1, but now we're
Oh, and as for Thomas and his friends help out, yes, I have the Sounds of Sodor copy. If you press these 3 buttons, Thomas, Percy, and Bertie are voiced by Michael Brandon, while Sir Topham Hatt was voiced by Robin Smith.
Yeah, rest in peace, Robin Smith.
And yeah, of course. Oh, and also, oh man, why is the DVD case caught on my shirt? Anyways,
Whoop.
I also
It's
fixed the same. I also fixed the same error on the 10 Years of Thomas booklet.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's Thomas and the Treasure.
First release of 2008.
Of course.
Should be because it was released in January of 2008. This does the first release have the newer style Anchor Bay logo. Even though the Anchor Bay logo has changed completely to like something else, I think it's like just an actual anchor or something. Because I know that there's one movie I saw has the Anchor Bay logo is just a simple anchor. But I like how this one it has a ship, just like on the 1998 to 2007 version.
Or maybe 2006, and yeah. And
Well, yeah, but they used it up to 2000. In Thomas releases in 2007. But yeah, Thomas and the Treasure has. Some people don't really like Skarloey the Brave because of Skarloey not acting like a mature engine. Oh my god.
yeah. And anyways, I fixed that error covering this up because it
Yeah, I
says
could just
it says character gallery, but it's really character cube. Same thing to
Wrong.
this one. Thomas and the
Yeah,
Toy Workshop.
Yeah, if I just print out the word cube, I can just write. I mean, I don't think I'll have enough space because I have to make sure it's long enough to cover up character gallery. Because
Well,
Even though I can use a little piece of paper, yeah.
yeah, I used a piece of paper and I used a pencil and I write it in small words and I cut
Yeah.
it and tape it and cover that error up and yeah. And I do
Yeah.
the same thing. I do the same thing on the booklet of Thomas and the Toy Workshop and Thomas Gets Tricked, which has Sordor memories, not character gallery.
Yeah.
Not
Also, PBS fan program Breaker says "Push Me Pull You" was by far Scarlo's worst episode. I can see why. He gives it a 1 out of 10. Well, we'll see that when we get to the adventure pack, which is all season 12. But right now we're almost at the last of the main model release because we're getting into the hybrid season 12 soon. Also, Treasure. I know like people don't like Big Strong Henry or maybe Seeing the Sights. I like Seeing the Sights. And yes, this one has strength.
Which, yes, I know it played a second after Duncan's Bluff is over. I guess they're testing out for another Thomas video from 2008. I think when they should have put it in third.
Like after Starlowy the Brave is over, because usually it's play after the third episode. Like after on Carnival Capers and Toy Workshop, that one the song plays after the third episode.
Oh, and also the sounds for Thomas, James, Percy, and Harold. That's the same as this one, 10 Years of Thomas.
Yeah. Also, Treasure is worth a try. And yeah, let's go to Mud Glorious Mud. Should have been released after Toss the Treasure. The reasons why I put this one before Engines and Escapades is because, well, it's the last one to use the 9 and 10 variant of Engine roll call at the end of after the last episode's over, and to use the season 8 through 10 end credits after the Engine roll call's over.
Anyways, yes, this one is the same as well, the Mud Glorious Mud, and yes, I also got this and probably Thomas and the Treasure for Christmas back in 2018. Even Thomas and the Toy Workshop, and yeah, I think so, yeah. What else? Oh yes, Rocky appeared in Big Strong Henry before his introduction episode, but at least when Carnival Capers came out, they did put it on this, and at least they put Big Strong Henry on this so that nobody gets confused if Rocky came to Sodor or not.
Yeah, and Mud Glorious Mud, yes, includes episodes we've never seen on DV, plus the episode itself, Mud Glorious Mud, but two other episodes are used, but one never had a dub before. This is the only release to incorporate the Alec Baldwin narration of A Friend in Need.
Oh yes, A Friend in Need is redubbed by Alec Baldwin, because previously on this one, Michael Angelis narrates it.
Yeah, but at least on this release, I like which voice impression do you think for Max is when he says "Careful, Bumble Bucket" is better, Baldwin or Michael Angelis? I think I could do both of them if you don't mind, guys.
I should say Alec Baldwin.
Really, Thomas Movie Fan 123, where it says "Careful, Bumble Bucket," and Ned says "Sorry," said.
I prefer both.
Yeah.
Both narrations of A Friend in Need.
Yeah. Oh, and Tom's PBS fan program maker says, "I will admit Alec Baldwin's Alfie impressions was hilarious. They are kind of hilarious. I gotta admit they are hilarious too. Like when he exclaims out Jack, and also like at the very end when he calls out, "Welcome to the pack, Jack." And Angela goes, "Welcome to the pack, Jack."
Well,
and also like they mentioned Tidmouth Sheds, even though in the classic series the show is just called the Sheds.
Yeah, and what else?
Like 2 season 6 episodes, Alec Baldwin does mention Tidmouth Sheds, even though it's just called the Sheds back in seasons 1 through 5.
And what else? Oh yes, at least they used the US title for Edward the Really Useful Engine, and as for Edward Trevor and the Really Useful Party, they used to restore it and unechoed, because previously on Thomas Gets Bumped, it was echoed.
Because of the way you can tell it's unechoed, because you can hear Trevor's theme playing at the beginning, but the unechoed version, there's no music.
And also,
And Darian Williams says to you, Jake, what made him laugh is Gordon not cleaning the trouble with mud. But yeah, here's Engines and Escapades. This should have been like. This should have really swapped dates with. Was it Jesus? You have the 2010 version?
Yeah, I have the 2010.
Okay. Does that one have updated previews, or does that have Splish Splash Splosh trailer in it, or no?
Yes, it has a Splish Splash trailer.
There's also Hero the Rails in it too.
Yeah, even though I have both Hero the Rails and Splish Splash Splosh.
I just prefer this original one because it has the original. This is the only way to see the original version of the Great Discovery trailer. With this guy's narration.
Pierce Brosnan.
Well, no, it just has the trailer for the Great Discovery with this guy's version, but on the season 12 releases after the Great Discovery, it has a different version with this guy's voice. What basically on this DVD goes, hop on board to discover the most exciting adventure the island of Sodor has ever seen in the all-new, never-before-seen Thomas and Friends DVD, The Great Discovery, featuring Pierce Brosnan as the narrator. It's on Lost Town. And we'll get to the other ones. I'll show that that's the different version of Great Discovery trailer.
Oh yes. I forgot to mention about Mud, Glorious Mud. At least it has Thomas and the Avalanche, even though it's not so hasty cakes, and it shows stock footage. It has stock footage from the Flying Kipper with Henry in his old shape. They couldn't, but it's edited to make it look like snow is falling, but they couldn't edit to make it look like he's in his new shape because of him moving.
Yeah, and I also like the other stock footage in that one was from Oliver the Snow Engine, but it's just edited to have like a gray sky instead.
Even it's only snow, even though Thomas's brown snowplow is seen, and he's pulling the Christmas tree, and Toby made a cameo, even though in the next scene, he's pulling Annie and Clarabelle, and he's also wearing his blue snowplow.
Yeah, and Derry William asks, Jake, what is your personal opinion on Percy and James and Gordon?
I'm not sure. And also, missing freight cars. It's actually missing cars because of Michael Brandon reading missing cars.
Like when he reads the title out, he just says missing cars, even though they added the word freight into the title. But yeah, let's get to the next.
Hang on. Anyways, here's Engine. I have this DVD, Engines and Escapades, the final Thomas and Friends DVD to be distributed by 20th Century Fox, and the only one to show season 11 episodes as mainstream.
Yeah. Now let's get on to this release. Is The Great Discovery.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I have it. Yes, yes, I have it with the slipcover and the sticker with Pierce Brosnan. I also got it from eBay.
I was trying to get the lot. I was trying to buy the lot with the one that had the CD in the version with the CD inside, but unfortunately, I missed my chance because, like I said, I'm trying to act more mature adult and do something really important.
Well, yeah, I got it from eBay.
Does it came with some coupon movie game?
What is it, Jesus?
You have the one that came in the coupons from Target.
Yeah, I threw them away because those were long expired. So this is a 15-year-old movie now.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I got it from eBay back in 2020. That worst year ever, of course. And as for Engines and Escapades, I got it back in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I don't have any nitpicks with this movie way too much, but a lot of people say their worst complaint with this movie is Pierce Brosnan's narration is not really as upbeat with the other narrators.
Anyways, they put CGI balloons, even though everybody is sad after the Great Waterton Tower was destroyed.
Yeah, thanks to the thing that Thomas is playing backfired.
Well, minus Henry and Gordon, because I could see they were kind of cross, and
even though Henry's behind Thomas, but actually in the actual movie you can see James mad. in the scene where everyone is sad after the accident occurred.
Then what else?
And also, look, no Edward.
I don't see Edward. I don't think so. And it's very strange that it's rated G.
Yeah, but this is a full-length TV special episode.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is the first Thomas DVD to be distributed by Lionsgate. Even though in the trailer it was from this one, it was going to be distributed by 20th Century Fox, but Lionsgate took over it immediately. So here it is, that insert, that prototype copy. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry if I'm doing this, Jake Martin, because something, my tripod thing, part of my tripod broke when I was trying to get this thing, my stream set up, but hopefully you don't mind me this, because I have to hold this tripod thing, because I'm fear it's going to fall over and I have to start this all over.
Oh, it's all right. Anyway,
I'm not going to be able to show the discs, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to show the discs for most of my Thomas releases, because we all know what they look like.
Well, I was going to show you that my copy of this came in a black case instead of a blue case. And
I've seen copies of that like at FYE many years ago, but I never picked it up because I like my copy in a blue case because it looks cool.
And my copy doesn't have inserts because I bought it used. And
I mean, if you bought it back in the day, I mean, you were 4 when The Great Discovery came out.
Yeah. And as for Milkshake Model, I print the cover, DVD cover off the internet because I had this for Christmas back in 2016, and what else? Oh yes, I put it in a white case because I don't have any cases that are blue. So
yeah, I know that. But Great Discoveries is the final one. We get to see all model production of Thomas. Before we move on to Hybrid Season 12 with the whole adventure pack. Now we're
I have them
showing.
separately. I'll show them.
Are you only missing one, Jesus?
I have 4 of them. Finally.
You have all 4 of them finally?
Well, I only have 2. Here's Railway Friends, the first one to show season 12, and even show CGI elements on the trains and the humans, even though their model faces are seen. It's some test runs, of course, and oh yes, I also got for Christmas back in 2016 with the Easter Thomas toy, but I don't have it, unfortunately, and my copy's in a black case because I don't think it came with a blue case, which sucks.
Yeah, and you said, Jesus, you have all the Season 12 releases finally? All of them 4 individually?
Yeah.
And because I want to show every release because I like to have them all together instead of just having
here's what I finally have back on Christmas.
Yeah, I see this as a mixture of models and CGI Season 12. That's I say hybrid or mix a model of CGI.
Well, yes, like I said, they use CGI elements on the trains on their model bodies.
But yeah, I know these have releases that have some Season 12 episodes I don't like.
I know you don't like Best Friends.
Toss the Billboard and The Man in the Hills. I'm saying in the order when they appear on the releases because they don't non-broadcast, non-complete season order.
Anyways, I have High Speed Adventures, which we do despise Thomas and the Billboard. When I was watching this, hang on. There's an error on the slip cover. Oh yes, I also got it from eBay back in 2020, I think. I think. Anyways, there's a miss. Yeah, it has. I choose the slip cover with the Walmart sticker, but I got it from eBay. Anyways, there's a mistake. Sir Topham Hatt is behind Thomas instead of sticking out of his cab, but on the actual case, it's fixed.
Luckily, I don't have to worry about that, Jake Barn, because I just have the adventure pack, which has all the release side anyway. But yeah, can I tell you show your release, then we can do the.
Oh, and also, this also came in a black case instead of a blue one. And also, when I was watching this DVD, I should have scowled angrily over Michael Brandon yelling Sir Topham Hatt's lights out in the first place, which... Let me turn on my DVR and my TV so I can...
I don't know if that's a good idea, Jake Barney, because I don't want to hear that scene either. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well,
I mean, I don't really want to do that scene because I don't want to get just hopefully see some stuff that's really bad.
Well, I was gonna show you how I react to it in the first place.
Well, I don't know if that's a good idea to do it right now because we're just trying to get through the collection as fast as we can. Because
Hang on. I'm trying to make sure if I'm muted. Okay, it's muted. Anyways, I have two. Yeah, I still need to get Team Up with Thomas and Percy in the bandstand. Then I'll have all of them. I should have got the adventure pack in the first place, but I didn't have any chances. So since I first got the Railway Friends individually, so yeah, I was forced to get season 12 DVDs of Thomas individually.
But yeah, and also like yes, these two season 12 releases team up with Thomas Percy in the bandstand. These are the only ones to have Mr. Arkwright clips.
Played by Robert Slade.
Yes, Mr. Robert Slade. I believe he's still alive, unlike the actor who played Mr. Perkins in the
Ben Forster.
Yes, because he had cancer.
Yeah,
Adventure
back
Pack.
in 2017. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, I know. Railway Friends was low pitched in the intro, engine roll call, and the end credits.
And don't forget the Welcome to the Island Sodor, Jake.
I know, Jesus. And as for High Speed Adventures, only the intro and the song is in normal pitch, but they still kept the end credits in low pitch for some stupid reasons, and even for Team Up with Thomas. But at least in Percy in the bandstand, it's fixed.
Yeah, that was good. But, like I said, let's just look at the event pack like what you said. I know you just want to do something interesting really quick, Jake Martin, but I know.
Okay, I already unmuted, so I'm about to play it, so...
Can I just mute my microphone so I don't have to hear it?
Yeah, you can mute. Hang on, Sir Topham Hatt, with your Michael Brandon voice. Okay, here I go. Oh, hang on, let me put my phone on the shelf. Okay. Let me pause this, because let me grab my tripod. Okay, I got my tripod out, so alright. Put this in the tripod. Behave yourself, tripod. Okay. Alright, see if it's turning. Okay. Here I go.
It's gonna be funny.
You were meant to pick up Mr. Giggles, the favorite spot. Emily, you were meant to pick up the last pass. And James, you were meant to pick up the bunting and decoration. None of you arrived. So Diesel had to do all your jobs. And now he's late to do his own work. Thomas was very upset.
Thomas was very upset. And what else? One more thing.
That's a wonderful idea, Thomas.
Michael Brandon! Are you out of your mind? Can you not use that gruff tone of voice like that? Like, can you not? Dang, Michael.
Narrate Thomas in the billboard.
Dang, Michael Brandon, you're gonna get sick with a sore throat or a heart attack and kill yourself if you use that gruff tone of voice like that. It makes the Topham Hatt sound angry.
Pierce Brosnan should narrate the
There you go, movie and game lover 98. I should have blowed up in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily when I was doing this for my birthday stream, I should have muted my microphone so I didn't have to hear Mox playing these scenes that I hated. Not only this, but Mox only did also the parts from Lost Treasure with Sir Thomas harshing on Thomas, and also
But with Keith Wickham.
yeah,
Pierce Brosnan should voice Sir Topamat in Soder's Legend of the Lost Treasure.
Okay. Anyways,
Adventure Pack. Yes, I know none of you guys have, but I do, because I want to have season 12 all together. I think that's the season the season 13 releases the Scene Team Collection, which because I didn't want to have them out of order.
okay. There. All better. Yeah, that's how I should do. I should have blown up at Michael Brandon. Like, he should do like this. Gordon, you were meant to pick up Mr. Giggles, the famous clown. Emily, you were meant to pick up the brass band. And James, you were meant to pick up the bunting and decorations. None of you arrived, so Diesel had to do all your jobs. And now he's late to do his own work. And what about this one? That's a wonderful idea, Thomas. That will be better instead of using that gruff tone of voice like that.
Or better, Pierce Brosnan narrate Thomas in the Billboard. That would be good.
Okay, but now let's move on to the next release to use full CGI, Hero of the Rails.
Oh, cool! I have that.
I still need to get it.
Oh, you know what? I should have done this when I could have helped you have Hero of the Rails, Shikmar, and I had a spare copy. I should have just kept it.
Well,
Yeah, mine has this error where it says full screen on the slipcover.
It's really widescreen. It's really widescreen, so.
And there's something wrong. That says, and Cared and Henry Taft have special coal.
Or you could have just said Cared when Henry had that special coal.
That is false, Michael Brandon.
Or Care have. Or Care Henry to have special coal.
I could have just said after the narrator says, "Listen to Edward's wise words," and Cared when Henry had to take special coal years ago.
Like, really? That was funny.
Oh yes, I did get it from my work at Behavioral Specialist, but it was the universal copy, so I got rid of it. So I still need to get the Lionsgate copy.
It's on eBay, like I said. I know you're gonna probably get it maybe with some releases from 2009.
Yes, and with the slip cover.
Yeah. Yes, there's also another error on this. Here, Tom speaking his own voice for the very first time. That's false.
Even though he had his own voice since this one.
Yes, seriously, Hit Entertainment. You could have just said here, Tom speaking his own voice for very long, I guess.
Yeah, at least I got the tripod out so I could. Yeah, at least you saw my reaction. Oh, Jesus has left.
Yeah. And that's when you were going to do the reaction to your Toss the Billboard thing. Remember you also started the part when the engines were in the wrong spots when they were crossing in at Thomas, but Emily was not really cross. She was sad, but everyone else was mad.
Well, it was showing when I paused so I could get the tripod to behave itself. And
okay,
yes,
I gotta get a new tripod. Yeah.
I know both Henry and Gordon swapped positions, which kind of sucks.
But yeah, and also yes, Thomas Hero. And also, like when Hero says he was the first steam engine to arrive on Sodor, that's not true. That's another error that they made in this movie.
He was the first Japanese engines to arrive on Sodor, because in the Railway series, it was his unnamed brothers in Neo.
Yeah, you could have just said I was one of the first international engines to arrive on Sodor. Because of Togo Igawa voicing Hiro. I know the voice actor who voices Hiro, Togo Igawa. And luckily, Victor is voiced by David Bennett, even leading up to the Blubba era.
And yes, Victor's at the docks, even though he is some kind of narrow gauge engines, not a stranded gauge engine, but I guess they put him at random docks because Thomas is at the steelworks with Sir Topham Hatt.
Yeah, and Darian Williams says, hello? Well, I can hear you what you're saying. I'm sorry, Darian Williams. I'm not sorry if I'm not responding to your comments. I'm trying to get through this collection as fast as I can. But luckily, I made it through most of all model releases. Well, we're going to see some come back in a sec. But Hero of the Rails, yes, I know you were disappointed when you got the Universal one by your... Back when you used to have your old manager...
Along with another one, Blue Mountain Mystery.
Like, I know, you... well, I know you got both of them. You were upset when they were Universal prints.
Yes, Blue Mountain Mystery. The Universal reprint I also got rid of.
Okay, I know back then when you got them, that used to be like when you used to have Mr. Todd at your work. That's when he gave you got the Hero of the Rails.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That was before Mr. Todd came to Behavioral Specialist.
Okay, who was the one who gave you Hero of the Rails in Blue Mountain Mystery before it was Mr. Todd?
Maybe some other therapist instructors like Miss Lacey, Missy. What else?
Okay,
some other ones.
I never like to give out my boss's names from my work out loud. I just don't like to do it, honestly. But anyway, yeah, Hero of the Rails, yes, I recommend it. But now let's get on to the last release of 2009. It's the Slimcase Holiday Express.
Holiday Express, I still need to get. And I know it has Henry's Lucky Day that we never get to see. But at least we do.
Yeah, but it plays the season 8 through 10 intro for some reason.
And the end credits is still low pitched, even though after Snow Engine is over, it was normal pitched.
Yeah, but I don't know why they couldn't just use the Classic Series intro for all of the Snow Engine. And Thompson PBS fan program breaker says he already has the disc. Oh, you do? That's nice, Thompson PBS fan program breaker. As long as it's the original artwork disc, not the Universal version. Because I know you can find the original Lionsgate in a version in a stick case, Jake Martin, or you can get the version with the take-along Thomas with a Santa hat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Because I know you don't mind having slim cases, because I know you want to save some space.
Yeah, because I do have some other DVDs in slim cases, like Trust Thomas and what else? Oh yes, I have Trust Thomas and let's see, and Ultimate Christmas, because Thomas Gets Tricked and James Goes Buzz Buzz and Trackside Tunes, they just come in thicker cases.
Yeah, and someone says all reprints of DVDs suck like Universal prints. I say true because even though James Learns a Lesson does not have Thomas's Anthem sing-along song listed in the menu, it's some reasons will still play after the program's over on that version. Even though I'm not get that.
Yeah, after Thomas and Birdie's Great Race is over.
It kind of plays like the Ink Label version from the 2005 Ink Label version of VHS of James Learns a Lesson, which I'm probably not going to get that either because, like I said, I'm not going to buy anything for a while. But at least I get to show the whole Thomas Home Media Collection. This is, like I said, I'm halfway through part 2, Holiday Express, and also on the short version of Thomas Percy's Mountain Adventure on this release, the short version, yes, and it's in restored footage. After the narrator says, the engines whistled in delight, and everyone agreed that it was a really happy Thanksgiving. And and it shows a close-up of Thomas and Percy after the last dialogue from George Carlin is said.
Oh, and also on this one, of course, even though George Carlin in his dialogue, even though George Carlin is saying the last dialogue before the episode wraps up, let's see, it still shows the scene freezes at this one before the end credits for Thomas and his friends help out starts to come on.
Yeah, kind of like the VHS in a way, yeah. So I know you don't have Thomas's Friends Help Out. Do you have Thomas's Friends Help Out on VHS, Jake Martin, or no?
I only have it on DVD, but no, I don't have it on VHS.
Okay, but I know you don't have Best of Thomas on DVD either.
Of course not. And some
I mean-
other Thomas DVDs like the early years, Thomas's Sodor Celebration, Songs from the Station, and what else? Hooray for Thomas. I think. And what else? Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, and On Site with Thomas, and Thomas's Halloween Adventures.
And also, PBS Fan Program Breaker says for some reason Holiday Express uses the season 8 engine roll call after Thomas's Frosty Friend is over, even though which I thought that episode was ridiculous. Even though the episode's from season 10, yeah, they should have done the season maybe 8, 9, and 10 engine roll call. Despite there's only 2 episodes from season 8 on this release, and 1 is from season 10 and 1 is from 11. Even though yes, Thomas and Frosty Friend, we can already watch that in Carnival Capers. Even though they did fix this error on this, which I forgot to mention, Carnival Capers. On Thomas and Frosty Friend on that release, they put another S after the apostrophe, where on this one, there's no extra S after the apostrophe.
Well, yes, on the Thomas's Sodor Celebration, even though the case doesn't have the extra S next to the apostrophe, the actual program still has it.
Oh my god. Even though I think when the banner comes up, it doesn't have that error when you go to the menu on Sodor Celebration.
Yeah, Harold's banner, of course.
Well, yeah, just like the old 2002 style of the cartoon Thomas of the characters. But yeah, Holiday Express. This one, yes, also mentioned. This also has the funny things from Cargo Challenge reused on this release. Which, unfortunately, since Jesus left, I can't. I mean, I guess I will just tell you some I could tell you that are funny. But, I mean, you've played Cargo Challenge before. Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, you can just watch it on YouTube, Jake Martin. Cargo Challenge on this release. And it's great to be.
Well, of course, I don't have it along with It's Great to Be an Engine.
I mean, you could probably get this release. I mean, you could probably get this release for a good price. And I could do the funny things in Cargo Challenge, when Sir Tom, on the UK release of version of Cargo Challenge, Sir Tom is voiced by someone else. Oh yeah,
Instead of Robin Smith, not Williams. What the heck did I just get Robin Williams from?
Well, Robin Williams would be a silly idea, but yeah. And also what you said, Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker, it plays the season 8 version of Making Tracks for Suggestions. Well, at least we get to see it on DVD, kind of, because unlike all the ones, they say Michael Brand says it's the upbeat version. And Darian Williams says, I don't like it when I'm being ignored. Well, that's not kind of nice, Darian Williams, because I'm sorry, I have to keep showing the collection.
Yeah, come on, Darian, quit being rude. Come on now.
We're trying to show off the collection and just get through this, because I have lots of more releases to get through before we. Because I'm probably ending up might do a different stream. I'm probably do a part 3 a different time because I want to do something else in a stream. But yeah, Holiday Express, like I said, I recommend this. And also, I'll tell you the funny parts in Cargo Challenge, Jake Martin. The only challenge game I would not do the fail where if you go too fast you crash. The only one I would not do is the raspberry syrup one because it makes a weird when you crash. When you go too fast or even though if you go do this one challenge in the coal one, you go medium speed with 6 trucks. Even though you think you make it up the hill, you still crash. But Sir Tom Max says the weight of the cars was too much to handle on the way down from the hill. If you like, you can try again.
Yeah, I know. It shows a picture of Thomas from Too Hot for Thomas when he was heading for the wrong track, even though the signal man should have crossed the points.
Changed it, yeah.
Changed it, and then.
Thomas Program Breaker says, Engines Escapade says, Michael Brandon saying Thomas and Friends Making Tracks Great Editions is too late. Yeah, I noticed that too. I forgot to mention that, sorry, because I'm just trying to get through the collection, but yeah. Yeah, yes, you told me about the scene from 2 Hour for Thomas, when you failed the challenge and you can give the option to try again. Yes, Thomas surprised going down the wrong way, down the siding.
And then when Sir Topham had said, Great job, Thomas. You had followed the instructions and made it on time. It shows him with his happy face.
Well, in cartoon style, yes. But also, like when you finish the whole game, and he still says, "Great job, Thomas. You followed instructions and made it on time." It shows him pulling out of the yards from Too Hot for Thomas.
Yeah.
Like there are some other speeches like I'd rather not get. Also, like when you think you can't make it up the hill, you think you can't make up the hill and the load's too heavy. There's actually two ones where Sir Thomas gets really cross, saying you went too slow and or the trucks were the weight of the trucks was too much. Like the one I hate the most is when he gets really angry, saying you went too slow to make it up the hill. Why don't you just try again? But the other one, he goes, the weight of the extra trucks is too much to make it over the hill. Choose less cars and try again.
Yeah, like dang Robin Smith and Sir Topham Hatt.
Now you're including Robin Smith in this, even though you say dang Michael Brandon giving out your gruffness, but now dang Robin Smith and Sir Topham Hatt. Even though I like Robin Smith as the best Sir Topham Hatt impression.
Oh, why did I say that? But yeah, even though I first said dang Michael Brandon after I kind of exploded a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah. Holiday Express, yes, I recommend this release. And yeah, like after the Making Tracks Great Destinations logo is set the Season 8 version by Michael Brandon, it goes straight to the restored Seasons 1 through 5 intro, and Thomas and Percy's Mountain Adventure will start.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's get on to the first full CGI episodic release, Splish Splash Splosh.
First one to have Mr. Perkins. Rest in peace, Ben Forster.
Yeah, he'll always be remembered as playing the great Mr. Perkins. At least, yes, they still have the Season 12 Sir Tom Hatt in Thomas's cab, but this is just a Nitrogen Thomas promo. At least he's still in his cab, which is good. Unlike High Speed Adventures, they forgot to do that.
But on the actual case, they did fix it, but not in the slipcover.
Yeah, and also, like, yeah, this one, I'll tell you, in this release, when you get to the credits, this one they show Mr. Perkins is... In the description for Mr. Perkins' segments on this release, they put an error saying Mr. Perkins is Sodor of talent, but no, that's not true. Or actually, this one,
it should say Mr. Perkins makes a cake for Sir Topham Hatt's birthday.
Unlike Birthday Express, which is going to be, if we get to it, maybe, unless we may have to do another part. That one, they do fix it correctly. That's because it's for the talent show. This one, he's making a cake for Sir Topham Hatt's birthday. And, like, this... I know that this is their first attempt trying out a Mr. Perkins segment, because with Hit Entertainment and Nitrogen or Lionsgate, whoever did this decision to do the Mr. Perkins making a birthday cake for Sir Topham Hatt made out of Thomas.
Yeah, I know, and yes, speaking about the Season 12 CGI of Sir Topham Hatt, they couldn't make a full one since Hero of the Rails or Season 13.
Yeah, and also Hero of the Rails also forgot to do that. Put a full CGI Sir Topham Hatt, but they used the Season 12 one.
Yeah, they couldn't. They were unable to make it. Like, come on now, you could do it.
But yeah, I know Splish Splash Splosh is another release you're trying to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got this off of eBay, I was so upset when I got the Canadian version because I should have just studied the pictures really hard, and even though Canadian DVDs will play because they're both Canadian and US DVDs are region 1.
Of course.
I mean, even though I don't like the Canadian releases of Thomas DVDs in my territory. But yeah. And also like when I had to order the bare copy of Splish Splash Splosh off eBay alone. But yeah. Splish Splash Splosh, I know that it's my favorite episode of Season 13, despite like some people say it's the worst.
And yes, it has snow tracks with Michael Brandon's narration and Thomas screaming, "Help!"
After the narrator said, and crashed and bashed into Thomas. Help! Gordon saw Thomas and his car of firewood lifted high in the air and derailed. Now it was Thomas who looked like a giant snowball. Luckily, no one was hurt. Also, Gordon says, I'm not strong, and I'm not the best. And this is also the first full CGI episode where Gordon says, oh, the indignity. Double Trouble, the Season 13 CGI version, he just says, oh, the indignity. Just like in Hero of the Rail. He just says, oh, the indignity. But this one he says, oh, the indignity. At at least I can see now. Or maybe there were some other episodes where Gordon did say it before Snow Tracks, but I'm pretty sure Snow Tracks was the first time he said it in full CGI.
Well, yes, in Calling All Engines, he only said the indignity.
Yeah.
Then in this one, in Carnival Capers, in the green controller, he did said, "Oh, the indignity." But this is the only time he said it in the model series.
Yeah. And Baramegia says, my voice is getting annoying. Please stop saying that, Baramegia. If you keep saying that, I'm going to have to remove. Let me block
This is
this
ridiculous.
user.
This is ridiculous. Can somebody stop giving rude comments to Movie and Game Lover 98? Come on. Come on.
Okay. But and also Trainboy 22 Studios, aka aka Gabe Fry says something caused drama last year. What did cause drama? I don't know. Let's see. Comments. Darian Williams says, stop saying that, Darian Williams. Oh my god.
Darian Williams, stop spam commenting Movie and Game Lover 98 at once.
I'm so getting tired of this. Look, she's trying to join, but I'm not going to even add her. No thanks. But yeah, Toss and Runaway Kite, we're going to... let's just get to this release before I get even more annoyed. Toss and Runaway Kite, where this one has the sequence of Mr. Perkins, where he's trying to teach a parrot named Beaky how to behave.
Parrot named Beaky? How to behave.
These scenes, for some reason, were reused in Animals Aboard for some reason, which is going to be much later. Even though they could have just used the ones from Big Bang Surprise, but add the U.S. dialogue on that release, Animals Aboard.
Yeah, I know. Just like how we like it when Ringo Starr and Michael Angelis, their dialogues are the same as their UK dubs, but they added US. And even Pierce Brosnan,
Yes,
who did The Great Discovery, he narrates both UK and US.
yeah, but this one I know. But this one I know when Mr. Perkins says in the UK version, he just says the fat controller, sir. But this one he says, Sir Topham Hatt, sir. He says, oh, Beaky, you made me feel really silly in front of Sir Topham Hatt.
Exactly. Yes. And as for Mark Morgan, he also narrates episodes both UK and US.
Yep, and this one, the Find What Doesn't Belong game would get reused on Curious Cargo. I'm not sure what the description of Mr. Perkins segments on this release is in the credits. I'll have to look through the credits on this release again. Like, scroll through a closing video on this release to see which one it is.
Or I'll find your closing video and I'll find it.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure, like I mentioned before, I don't know why they made that error on Splish Splash Splosh, but they could have just said Mr. Perkins making a cake on that release.
Yeah.
But now let's go to another model series release that has 20 episodes.
Oh,
which
yes.
is the greatest story, which
I still need to get it. And Splish Splash Splosh was the first Thomas and Friends video to show season 13 episodes.
Yeah, that Splish Splash Splosh and Thomas Runaway Kite were the first ones to have season 13. And this one was to commemorate the 65th anniversary of Thomas back in 2010.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a spare copy on my shelf I'm going to hopefully give to you so you don't have to buy it yourself. Because I know you're going to be 19 this year, and, well, once you're 20, I know you have to do it by yourself.
When February comes, next year I'll turn 20.
Well, this year will be 19. That means I can still help you get stuff for your birthday. Well, I can get you anything you like for your birthday. Like I mentioned, I could probably give you those DVDs that I have doubles of. Well, I have spares that I want to give to you for your birthday. Because before I could help you actually. You can actually have my spare greatest stories. I just wanted the slipcover for my copy. Even though underneath is my copy that I got from Target back in 2013. That's the Blue Mountain Mystery Collectible coloring book.
Yeah, and there is some 2 episodes that Ringo Starr narrates in the UK. Thomas gets tricked and Edward helps out. They use the UK British narration and dialogue from the early years.
But at least they're in restored quality. But I would have liked if they used the US versions with Ringo Starr's US version.
Just like he did in the Thomas Gets Tricked video, but at least he was able to narrate Diesel's Devious Deed in the US.
The US version, yes. I would have, if they put the UK version, I would have been so annoyed because then we had to listen to only Ringo's British dialogue. But luckily they did it for the US version of Diesel's Devious Deed. They did the US version of Diesel's Devious Deed with Ringo Starr. Because we couldn't get the release Better Late Than Never on DVD. But luckily they put this episode onto this DVD.
And oh yes, speaking about Oliver the Snow Engine, they used the UK title shortly as Snow Engine, but it still has Michael Brandon's USA narration dialogue in both this and Holiday Express.
And Toss the Wheel of Revengeance as well. There's some errors in this.
Well, it uses the US title by adding the word Oliver the Snow Engine.
But yeah, and also on this DVD, some of these Season 8 episodes have some errors. First, Thomas Saves the Day, the Season 8 version, like when Thomas, after he says, "I can't wait for the grand opening," he told Annie and Clarabelle excitedly. It goes out of sync for just a tiny bit when Thomas explains out there's going to be flags in a big band. It goes out of sync for a little bit, but then it starts to go perfectly in sync again, just for a little bit. And also, when after Thomas sees the Charleston trucks rushing towards him, the ones that ran away from Edward, after the narrator says they had come uncoupled from Edward, and it makes a weird sound. What is that? Where'd that sound come from? Was it from someone's phone or something? What was Hit Entertainment doing?
And what else? Oh yes, James gets a new code. The trucks were laughing. It could be heard in Trackside Tunes, but on this one, they muted for some reason.
Yeah, on Track Stars, they can be heard laughing, but this one they're not laughing. And also, in the Thomas to the Rescue Island of Soda introduction, Michael Brandon says it way too fast. I would have liked it if he just slowed down a bit. And also, it just cuts to the episode, but even before the intro, Island of Soda intro is even over. And also when Salty says, "Ahoy there, me hearties! Fresh diesel from the mainland." There's no music.
Of course, there's no music.
But on Stevie's vs. Diesels, which you have on VHS, there is music. Hang on. Let me see if I get William back in. Oh, William's back. William's back.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back, William. I know you missed some of it. I know you had to leave for a bit. At least you're back now. We're on the greatest stories now.
Here, I had hamburger steak.
The show models come back.
At least for a while, and then we have to do
I
more
love that
CGI.
DVD. That's an awesome one.
Yeah, some people say they prefer Engine Friends over the greatest stories. But this one I like because it has almost all the seasons, just not season 6. But yeah, this also has the song Never 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 Give Up, finally put onto a physical media release.
Heck yes.
I like the
Finally,
song Never, Never, Never Give Up.
It's like a different version of Little Engines from season 6 where they literally sing, it goes, "If you climb the highest mountain, cross the river deep, maybe you'll find it's..." Oh yeah, and also I have this sing-along song on the CD, Thomas Snowy Songs on Thomas Snowy Surprise DVD, but it's low-pitched for some dumb reason.
And as for Thomas's Christmas Wonderland, which has train yard tracks, I think, Little Engines and Winter Wonderland is low pitched, and as for James and the Red Balloon, that has that music CD, there's another song in low pitch.
James Really Splendid Engine, but this one it's normal pitched. But on James Really Splendid Engine on this one, which I forgot to show in Salty Secret, on Salty Secret there's no one whistling at the end, but on this one there are two engines whistling at the end. Thomas and Percy can be heard whistling at the very end of James Really Splendid Engine on this DVD if you pop in disc 2. But yeah, and also yes, I'll tell you the error in the How Did Thomas Meet His Friends trivia game. It's during Toby's portion. Question the answer for the answer B for Toby's question is wrong. They say Toby tooted his whistle and startled the policeman. That's incorrect, Robin Smith.
There's a bell!
Even though there's an episode called Toby's New Whistle on Thomas the Runaway Kite, but Toby did have a whistle later on in season 4, they could have just said
Bullseyes. But Percy's low-pitched whistle from season 3 sound is used.
yeah. And also, yes, this one has Storybook Adventure reused from Solar Celebration, but unfortunately Jesus is not here, so I can't tell him the funny things again. But at least I can tell you guys the funny things in Storybook Adventure this time.
Oh, and also, I saw something in the description. They forgot to mention Michael Brandon, because we do have episodes with Michael Brandon after all.
Yep, and also like on the Engine Friends, they forgot to list Ringo Starr and Michael Brandon in that release, but that one they just put All-Star Storytellers, Alec Baldwin, George Carlin, and more.
They didn't have room, which don't know why.
But yeah, and also like some people were complaining that they put Rosie, Clarabelle, Duncan, and Molly as weird choices on this release.
But I know Molly made a cameo in Thomas and the Birthday Mail.
Without speaking, and they don't mention her. But it makes sense to have Rosie on the cover because, you know, her debut, Thomas the Birthday Mail.
And that's the same on the front cover as in Carnival Capers. And, oh yes, it does have that mistake. They put Percy as a new one, even though we first saw him since Trouble in the Shed.
Yeah, and also, I don't know why people complain that Duncan's on the cover, because, you know, even though Duncan is in 2 narrative episodes of season 11 on this release, which are Sir Handel in Charge and Duncan Does It All.
Exactly.
But when they do his question in How to Thomas Meet His Friends trivia game, they play the clip from Duncan in the Old Mine, which is not on this release, but they... Like,
That's
again,
on Milkshake. That's on Milkshake Muddle.
And Robin Smith says when Thomas first met Duncan, even though Thomas and Duncan met back in the classic series, I think.
Yeah, since season 4, of course.
Yeah, like Duncan, like I don't know when Thomas and Duncan interacted in the classic series. I don't know honestly in season 4 because I know like in some portions, I know at the very end of Galileo Engine, he and Thomas are on opposite sides when they're welcoming Rheneas home. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also, yes, there's also when you click on Thomas's Anthem, it doesn't play the ordinary version from season 3. It plays the grand finale version from 10 Years of Thomas. This is now the 3rd release we got to see Thomas's Anthem grand finale.
Just like in New Friends for Thomas when you complete all these games.
And at the very end of 10 Years of Thomas on any version on DVD or VHS. But also at the end of James the Splendid Engine, or James the Really Splendid Engine, not only is like they have Thomas and Percy whistling at the end, this one they show the Nick Jr. and Hit Entertainment logos at the end. Like, what? I was like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also this is the second release of the show. It's great to be an Engine song with no lyrics. Just like on Sing Along and Stories.
Yeah.
And also they have the Thomas Saves the Day enhanced read-along, but at least this one, the season 1 Thomas Saves the Day version, the enhanced read-along, they do show Ringo Starr's American dialogue, which I was pleased about.
Since Thomas gets tricked, like, of course.
Yeah, well, George Carlin did the US version of Thomas Saves the Day and other releases, because Ringo Starr, the only one who did it was the very first release, Thomas Gets Tricked, but George Carlin did it in other releases.
Well, I know George Carlin redubbed Thomas Gets Tricked when, since Shining Time Station episode, Stacy forgets her name, and they added on Thomas's Halloween Adventures, and also, as for Thomas's Christmas Party, he did redub Thomas Saves the Day, the season 1 version, even though Thomas Saves the Day is not a Christmas episode, but I guess they had to add it on Thomas's Christmas Party because, you know, yeah, George Carlin was the best to ever redub episodes while he was narrating season 3.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get to Creaky Cranky next. Go back to full CGI again.
Yep. More episodes with season 13, and
This one,
there's
Mr. Perkins, he's getting ready to ready for a birthday for one of his friends, Mr. Arkwright. This is the first time we get he mentions Mr. Arkwright, but we don't get to see a full body of him.
Nah, because last time we saw Mr. Arkwright's full body was Percy in the bandstand, and that was it.
Yeah, even he mentioned at the some of the Mr. Arkwright in person, the bandstand, he mentioned he better get this map ready for the next engine driver, which we know, yes, Mr. Perkins would replace him, yes. But yeah, if you look really closely, there's Thomas in Percy with Hero taking Steamworks.
Yeah, they used a picture from Hero of the Rails with Percy and Thomas taking Hero to the Steamworks.
But Victor and Kevin are outside of the Steamworks because this release came out before the next Thomas movie, Misty Island Rescue, which we're gonna see in a sec. But yeah, and also how can Cranky seriously break when he lifts up Thomas? Thomas is a small engine.
Yeah, and also for High Speed Adventures, I forgot to mention that in Don't Go Back, Thomas did push Rocky, even though in Thomas in the Runaway Car from season 11, he wasn't strong enough to pull Rocky. Even though I should be like, Thomas, why don't you push Rocky instead? Because I love how in Don't Go Back, your model was strong enough to push Rocky.
But yeah, and yeah, there's only one bonus feature, the sound song karaoke music video redone in season 13 CGI animation. Even though it would have been funny if they put the season 8 version on this release, it would have been funny. We could have seen it solo by itself, the season 8 version of the sound song from season 8, with the models come back, kind of.
Yeah, and as for the early bird, Michael Brandon should have said Thomas was excited. He hadn't pulled the mail train in a long time.
Yes. What the heck, Michael Brandon and all the other people like Entertainment and Nitrogen.
They need to pay attention to the classic series.
Well, you know who else wasn't a fan of the original classic series? Sam Barlow, the executive producer. Sam Barlow.
Oh man,
That's weird.
Yeah, I know that too, William. Yeah, and also I know in Pickled Pink, it uses an idea from the Railway Series story, the Henry Sees Red Railway Series story, where it's kind of like the similar thing, but James is painted pink, and in the Railway Series story, Henry sees red. Henry's painted red like James.
And yes, as for Michael Brandon, not only he narrates some episodes, but he still voices Diesel since the model series. Like when Diesel asked, "What are you doing, James? You are a pig steamy."
James felt terrible. Being laughed at by Diesel was worst of all. And then Gordon says, "Who's hiding in there? Express coming through. Come on out." And also the other ones when Henry and Spencer tease James, he just goes on without getting embarrassed. He tries to get on his work, tries to race as fast as he can to the station. First one says, "Oh dear, James, bright pink really is not your color." And when Henry says, "My word, you do look pink."
But yeah, Carrie Shell should have voiced Diesel in the U.S. besides the UK, because I love how he voiced Sir Topham Hatt, Gordon, and Henry, and James.
Well, at least Gordon was at least it didn't show Gordon and Sir Topham Hatt side by side. At least it was at separate times in the episode, which I was pleased about.
Well, James kind of sounded like Gordon almost, but his Carrie Shell voice kind of reminds us his Alec Baldwin voice.
Basically when he says, "If you can't push cars properly, Henry, why not talk to a tree instead? You know how much you like the forest."
Exactly. And what else? And I would have liked it if Keith Wickham should have voiced Sir Topham Hatt in the U.S. besides the UK, because we love how Keith Wickham voiced Dowager Hatt by using that high-toned voice.
Yeah, also, like the funny ones. Which is your favorite from the Perkins scene on Creaky Cranky? Basically, when he gets ready for the party, like when he's getting ready for Mr. Arkwright's birthday. Which one is your favorite clip of Perkins, Mark? Like the one where he's getting ready for Mr. Arkwright's birthday? Do you like the one when he practices playing Pin the Funnel on Percy?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like when he uses a scarf to cover up his eyes. Or you can just do it with your eyes shut.
Yeah.
Instead of just using a blindfold, because it's harder to do with a blindfold.
Exactly. Hard it is.
I just did it with my eyes shut, basically.
Let's see. I wish I could
Or you can use like an eye mask. Or you can use like an eye mask that people use to sleep in. You can use that to cover up your eyes.
Yeah, and...
But yeah, Creaky Cranky, yes, I recommend this with some mediocre episodes, but I don't know why in Creaky Cranky, excuse me, he creaks and then he breaks when he lifts up Thomas? Like I said,
even though Thomas is a small engine, and yeah, and what else? Oh yes, speaking about Pin the Funnel on Percy, I wish I could make a Pin the Item game on my hand, like maybe a picture of Emmy watching my DVD menu walkthrough on the Wiggle Space Dancing.
Yeah, but now let's get to Misty Island Rescue, my least favorite Thomas Nitrogen movie of all time.
Anyways, here we have Misty Island Rescue, which,
I know, I don't like this movie that much. I would have liked it if Stanley and Percy were the ones to help rescue Thomas along with it.
Exactly.
You know what's funny, Jake Martin? Like when I was watching this with my friend Squidle Six one time on a hangout, she says every time I added the dialogue with Stanley, she says I'm mocking the lines. Like, what the heck?
Man. And also, Carrie Shell voicing Sir Topham Hatt did kind of make Sir Topham Hatt yell at high tolerance, but using an exciting tone of voice. Like when Sir Topham Hatt shouts, Thomas!
Like when he throws his hat and it flies away? Wait, are you talking about the scene when Sir Topham Hatt throws his top hat into the air when he exclaims out excitement, Thomas?
Yeah.
Also, like when he goes, Sir, your hat. And he says, don't worry, I can find another hat, but I'll never find another Thomas. Yeah, even though this movie is bad, at least it looks better in Blu-ray picture quality.
Excuse me, Sir Topham Hatt. We don't have banks around Sodor, which kind of sucks. And Ferdinand, can you please stop saying that's right? Just say, why don't you say something else like, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, one of those cartoons, this one character says, what could possibly go wrong? But like I said, I love catchphrases in some shows, but making him say just that's right is weird. But at least Ferdinand says some sentences, like, you know, when he introduces himself along with Bash and Dash. Like he says, and I'm Ferdinand. And also like when Bash and Dash ask Thomas, what's the Sodor Search and Rescue Center? And also like when he says, when Bash and Dash saying, or basically they keep switching them around, but also like when Thomas says, what does he say? Oh yeah, and Thomas says, that's what you were told. You will not be fearful. You'll be brave and bold. But the cool thing is that Birdie and Butch came back in full CGI finally.
And at least Ferdinand, Bash, and Dash realize what the island of Sodor looks like when they're at the Sodor Search and Rescue Center.
Yeah, and also, yes, guess how many times they say that's right in this special? 17 or 18 times.
I'm gonna have to... If I still need to get that movie on DVD, and then I'll have to count how many times they say that's right.
It might be tricky because you might have something to help you remember how many times they say it, because you don't lose count. But yeah, I guess the one new character I do like, besides some people they say they don't like the Logan Locos, they say Captain's a cool character.
Yeah, like at
mean,
least we
do
get
you
to
like
see him
the
for the first
Captain?
time.
I mean, do you like the character Captain?
I think. Yeah, I think. Yes.
He's cool.
Like, this is the first movie Whiff comes back in full CGI. This is the first time Whiff comes back in full CGI. And this is the first movie Gordon does say, "Oh, the indignity."
Of course.
And yeah. And also, like, when Thomas says the funny one biff, one bash, and never a crash. Yeah. And also, yes, you mentioned, yes, there's no banks. Just like I mentioned before I was doing a Flicka stream before, there are no such thing as security cameras in School in the Sky in Dragonland. A way to no phones in Dragonland, or use police officers.
Or police stations. Like, there is no such things. Like, none of the above. We don't see anything.
Yeah. And we don't see banks in Sodor either.
We don't see anything.
Rescue.
None of the above.
Okay movie. I just don't know why they could have just added Stanley as the rescuer along with Percy and Whiff. That'd be kind of cool. Well, I couldn't understand why. Even though Stanley was right behind Percy in one of the scenes when all the engines are not even trying their hardest to find Thomas, and they're just sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, this movie still kind of reminds me of Toy Story 2 in a way.
Of course.
Switching between every scene every 15 or 20 seconds. Or maybe it's like 5 or 10 seconds. I don't know. I'll have to count every time it happens. But now that's enough of Mission Rescue. Let's go to Merry Winter Wish, which I have.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention about Best Friends. That was the final Thomas and Friends episode from season 12, and Thomas and the Billboard was first.
Yeah, and then Merry Winter Wish. This one has like one episode has a beautiful thing, and the others are just decent. Like I said, Merry Winter Wish, the episode itself is kind of beautiful. It's like Thomas the Shooting Star from season 10.
Mm-hmm.
All the others are decent, like Toss the Snowman Party. He wants to help the children find a new hat for their snowman, and he's wasting time trying to get that very important package for Sir Topham Hatt.
Yeah.
At least he was not gruff. He was basically said, "Where is my very important package, Thomas?" Or I think it was parcel. I don't know. But yeah. And also, like, this is the only CGI release to have Edward on the front. If you can tell right there.
Or, oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, and also, like, this is the first instance where this is the first release to have season 14 episodes entirely. Yeah.
Even though there's still some season 13 episodes missing.
Yeah, we still have some missing, but yeah. And also, Sir Tomat's Frosty Friend game will get reused on Santa's Engine as well.
Mm-hmm.
A couple things get reused on Santa's Little Engine. The Snow Tracks episode from Splish Splash Splosh gets reused. This game release gets reused on Santa's Little Engine. But at least Robin Smith does. I think Robin Smith narrates this game, Sir Tomat's Frosty Friend game. I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, Merry Winter Wish, yes, I has one episode that has a beautiful thing in it, and the rest are decent. But people say they hate Henry's Magic Box.
Well, I say I don't like Henry's Magic Box.
Because of Henry being a serious idiot in that episode. He literally just could have just told the engines just to come straight to the field right away. I don't know why Henry's being he's being so stupid. The engines act all stupid in this, even though I like some of the elements of these seasons. But at least in this one, Mr. Perkins, he has to wrap presents for the children, and he wrapped up the wrong things in this scene. He wrapped up the smelly boots, the oily overalls, and the boots. They should have realized you should have asked Sir Tom which was the right box for the right presents for the children.
Yeah, like when he spots another box which has a toy engine, a teddy bear, and a kite.
Yeah, he could have just asked Sir Tom which is the right box, and he could have just told him, "Okay, sir, I'll see which box it is. Hold on a sec." And he could have just said, "Thank you, sir. I'll get these presents wrapped right away." Even though Mr. Perkins, he could have just been the same as Mr. Arkwright. He tries his hardest. Like, I know Perkins can be silly sometimes, but even though he tries his hardest like Arkwright, he tries to impress Sir Tom Matt. But yeah, Merry Winter Wish, I recommend this release. Like I said, it has a beautiful thing. Merry Winter Wish, the episode itself, kind of reminds me of the beautiful scenery in Thomas and the Shooting Star from season 10. But at least in the last scene, he's dressed up as Santa Claus. Or as UK viewers like to call him, Father Christmas. But yeah, next up, the last release of 2010, The Line of Sodor.
Yep.
Yep. And this one, yeah, The Line of Sodor, the episode itself. This one is funny, like Thomas thinks it's a real lion in a crate.
But he realized it was a statue.
And it got covered in hay, straw hay, and fish, and sticky syrup. But at least Sir Tom Matt was not gruff with Carrie Shale.
Of course,
like,
Carrie Shale.
He was like, "Thomas, this is a terrible mess."
Of course.
"I'm sorry. I thought I had a real lion." And then Sir Tom explains out very slyly. He sighs out, "So you see, Thomas, it was the most precious thing. And now look at it." At least this one, Mr. Perkins, well, the Perkins scenes are nice on this release. I'll talk about them in a sec. Usually I talk about the Perkins scenes before the episodes, but this one I'm going to do the Perkins scenes after. Because at least someone's not here to tell about the Perkins scenes, but I haven't talked about all the episodes yet. This one I'll just do the Perkins scenes later. This one, Toss the Pigs. Thomas thinks, like I mentioned before, Thomas thinks thinks the piglets would want anything besides soft straw, like milk and apples and shiny brown chestnuts, but he realized, no, that's not true.
They just need straw.
Yeah, and also like the cutest ending was like when the piglet was looking at Thomas, he says, "Aw, that one is looking at me." And then Farmer Trotter said, "I think I'll call him Thomas." And then Thomas had a swell smile, and that was a very sweet ending. And of course, Time for a Story, yeah, some people say they hate Time for a Story. But also forgot to mention, like in Creaky Cranky, like that one, I don't know why Cranky break apart when he lifted Thomas, even though Thomas is small. Even like when Thomas races to the Steamworks to fetch Victor, he says, "Cranky Crete, and now he's cracked. He needs fixing right away." And when Victor says, "You've come to the right place, my friend," that was taken from the Hero of the Rails trailer, when Victor says, "You've come to the right place, my friend," but Creaky Cranky was the...
Yeah.
I don't know why he could have just said something different, because, they were spoiling Creaky Cranky episode after Hero of the Rails, but in Time for a Story, Thomas didn't wait for the books to be covered up. Even if he could have just waited, and then if he did accidentally go across the bumpy track, but with the tarps covering up the books, they would have still just spluttered out. Because it's like if you're driving a moving truck in real life, it's like you see some boxes of stuff fall over.
Uh-huh.
But this one, it would have imagined if the books did still spill out of the freight cars and toss over the bumpy track, and the tarps were still attached, but the books would still splutter all over the field, but the tarps were still covered up.
Oh, man.
But didn't happen. But yeah, Hero helps out. This is the first time Hero's the spotlight in a lead role in the episode. As the main character, the lead role. Despite Hero helps out as the last episode of season 13, it's the last episode on this release. And yes, Mr. Perkins, this one, he's showing a model railway to show the viewers how he and other engine drivers to do their jobs. At least this one, he's not panting because he's worried about something that's going to happen next. This one, he's trying out something cool. Which I know you don't have the Line of Sodor yet either.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky to find the Lionsgate version. Because, yeah, like I said, yeah, don't get the Universal version. Or you get the Steam Team Collection if you want, or unless you don't have...
Yeah, the Steam Team Collection. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting the Universal version of this or the other Season 13 releases?
And as for Misty Island Rescue, I'm getting it in a 3-movie pack with Day of the Diesels and Blue Mountain Mystery.
Yeah, but yeah. And also there's an error on this cover. Even though you can't see Thomas's other side of his foot plate, in the actual menu, you can't see he doesn't have a lamp on his thing. He just has a lamp iron there for some reason, even though they could just put a lamp on there. I was like, seriously, what? Hit Entertainment, didn't you forget to add the lamp?
Yeah, like goodness gracious.
But yeah, the line of Sodor, I definitely say I give this really. I mean, the Piss Perkins scenes are great. Some of the episodes are decent. But yeah, that was the last release of 2010. Now onto the ones from 2011, starting with Wobbly Wheels and Whistles.
I have it as well.
Yeah, I know it's got a sticker from.
Let's see.
What's this? I know your sticker.
From I think from a thrift store, like a marketplace. That was back in 2021.
Okay. Mine doesn't have a sticker because I got it from Target back in 2014, along with the DVD of Blue Mountain Mystery, but I wanted Blue Mountain Mystery on Blu-ray. But yeah, Wobbly Wheels and Whistles. The logo looks cool. It's got a wheel on the word wobbly on the O.
And what else? Oh yes, even though the case is
11.
2000, hang on. Even though the case is 2010 on 2010, even though the disc, it's really from 2011.
I guess they were producing this in late 2010, but they didn't release it until the start.
And also, this in the line of Sodor has this one.
That's Timmy Time episode Timmy's Plane. But in this one, Mr. I'll talk about
Father Timmy Time.
Yeah, I like rather watch Shaun the Sheep better.
Oh, and anyways, oh yes, the description, they messed up the description. It says that can Thomas help him? Oh my
Help try.
While trying to get Scruff as clean as a whistle, will Thomas have to get his own wheels dirty? Which that didn't happen.
No, he was trying to get Scruff out of the hiding place by trying to convince him to try and see some of his friends' loads, like Gordon's Express, go with Henry to get a special coal, even though that's not supposed to happen, or see Percy's mail cars, but Scruff did refuse to move out of the siding. But then Thomas realized it doesn't matter if he's dirty or not. That's part of the job. It doesn't matter if you're dirty or not. We still got to work hard at your job.
Oh, and also, Weezy and Thomas are derailed for some reason.
The log car and Thomas are derailed, yeah.
And also, I forgot to show Mud, Glorious Mud. Maithwaite Station is painted dark brown, but we could still see some original tan color.
It's kind of like how it was repainted to something else, Lost Magic Railroad, that station that looks like Maithwaite Station, but they just repainted it.
And they named it Kilobin Station, even though it's still the same building as Maithwaite, and it's also the castle of Tidmouth Bay. Yeah, they used Maithwaite's model. They put the castle next to Maithwaite.
Yeah, but Wobbly Wheels and Whistles, yes, this is her trauma yelling at level 4 tolerance.
Jumping wood.
That's right,
Shell.
boss.
Dang Carrie Shell.
Like, and Thomas LP fan said, "That's right, boss." And I was like, "Boss, Sir Topham Hat, Sir Topham Hat." That's right. But yeah. And also, like, Perkins scenes in this one, I forgot to mention, Perkins wants to go to the beach, but Henry arrives late with his delivery from Sir Topham Hatt. And oh wait, Thomas MVP fan 123 left. Just us, Jake and William.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wally Wheels and Whistles Perkins wants to go to the beach, but
Henry
wants to go
arrives late.
with this delivery, but then he decided to make a beach of his own in the engine driver's common room. And just imagine if they did make a scene where Perkins forgot to clean up the common room when it was full of sand.
Oh yeah.
But they just cut it out because they were just trying to entertain these scenes to the younger audience, these Perkins scenes. Even though it was Perkins' day off.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh yes. Speaking about Thomas and Scruff, it kind of reminds us of season 2 episode of SpongeBob. Gary takes a bath.
Yes. I do know the clip from SpongeBob Gary Takes a Bath, which I might as well say. After I do this Bob Pop Wally Wheels and Whistles down, I'll do the clip Gary Takes a Bath of SpongeBob. Victor Says Yes is probably one of my favorites on this release. It's my favorite episode on this release, but Being Percy is my all-time favorite episode of season 4. This one's my favorite on this release because of Victor trying to do his best to get the engines fixed, but he just never succeeds. And more engines keep getting in the way. They say they need repairs, but they don't even learn to wait their turn. And Victor has to still fix Gordon. He still had to work hard to get Gordon's valves clean because they were blocked. But the cool thing is Ari and Bert came back in this episode, and at least Diesel was not mentioned, and they didn't make Michael Brandon voice him as well as being the narrator. At least Diesel appeared in one scene in that episode, and that's it. But yeah. And yeah, Toby in the Whistling Woods, where Toby is afraid of the Whistling Woods, even though he should have just realized what those sounds really were. Even though it's a moral saying, you're never too afraid to be old to ask for help. But yeah, now we put Wally Wheels and Whistles down, and then I'll explain about the Gary Takes a Bath clip of SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
And when SpongeBob says, "I am not amused, mister. You are going to take a bath right now." I can't do SpongeBob's impression.
And you are gonna go. You are gonna take a bath, and you are gonna get clean right now.
Or I can do Gary's meow.
I am so the boss of you.
Meow.
It may be a free country, but you live in my house under my rules.
And then he says, "What are you doing?"
I am talking to you, Oh, wait. Hang on. And then Gary said, meow. Don't use that tone of voice of me. You will do what I said when I say. What are you doing? I am talking to you, mister.
Do not go near that mud puddle.
Gary the snail, do you hear me? I am giving you 3 seconds to get away from that mud puddle. 1, 2, 2.5. Don't make me say 3.
3. Gary.
I'm a dirty boy.
Yeah. And then he's in the now. SpongeBob has to be the one to take a bath. He goes, yeah. But anyway, now let's move on to the next place of 2011. But here comes Pop Goes Thomas.
I do have it, and yes, I got it from FYE back in 2019.
Yeah, I told you about this replay. This is where I got Pop Goes Thomas. I told you about my Dragon Tales DVD collection first edition stream, which actually I'm going to do that the week after, the Friday after, hopefully, if I have a spot to do it. That's going to be coming up the week after, my Dragon Tales DVD collection, second edition, 2023 edition. Because hopefully I can get a new tripod, because I'm nervous it's going to fall over on me. I know this sucks. I have to get a new tripod right now.
Of course.
Hopefully after this stream, I'll hopefully get a new one, hopefully soon. Because luckily they have some on Amazon, hopefully. Yeah, Thomas. This one has Perkins, where he wants to go to a silly costume party, and he tries to... And the funny thing at the beginning is he thinks he saw a real giant chicken, and a real knight, and a real pirate, but those were just people dressed up. But yeah. And then like this one, he wants to go to the costume parties. These costumes he couldn't. He tried to do the magician, but then Mr. Hobson called and said he was going to go as a magician, and then he tried to do the clown. Mr. Arkwright called.
Then he tried the cowboy, but Mr. Bennett is going as a cowboy.
Yeah, Mr. Bennett from the logging station called, and then final one he tried. And he noticed Sir Topham would be dressing up as something else. Then he wouldn't be dressed up as Sir Topham himself, and then he finally came up with an idea. Mr. Perkins would be Sir Topham Hatt, and his impression doing Sir Topham Hatt as dressed up in a costume is superb. He was like, "Mr. Perkins, you are." I don't know how it goes, guys. I think he goes, "Mr. Perkins, you are a really clever engine driver. Something is being Sir Topham Hatt." Actually, I know when he finally says goodbye, everyone, and says, and he does a great "Goodbye, everyone, and a good day to you all." Okay, now Pop Goes Thomas has the funniest sound when Thomas bounces along the bumpy track, but then he realized he got his comeuppance because he realized that funny popping sound that made him laugh. It was the corks that were popping away because they popped off the bottles of the lemonade, and the lemonade was all gone. Even though there was literally one cork left, and it still popped, and it knocked Sir Topham Hatt's hat right off his head. I don't know why Sir Topham Hatt said the lemonade is all gone when there was literally one cork left.
Man.
Yeah, and also Jitters and Japes. Yes, I do like that episode, kind of. At least Thomas goes to Misty Island in this episode, but at least the logging locals are not in this episode at all. He just takes Dowager Hat around Misty Island. But at least she doesn't boom Dowager Hat in this episode. Because I was like, what the heck, Keith Wickham? Why did you seriously add so much booming? But at least she was just not pleased that Thomas was not trying to make her. She was trying to make her trip as fun as possible. He was trying to make the trip as fun as possible. And then going tough round fast, Dowager Hat was cheering on in excitement.
And also, they reused the same bonus episode. Oh, bother Rory the racing car. That was on Railway Friends, and the Bob the Builder DVD Race to the Finish.
Yeah, but this one, Soda Hide and Seek Day would get Soda Hide and Seek Game. Excuse me, not Soda Hide and Seek Day. Soda Hide and Seek Game. Don't know why I came up with something else. This game would get used on Railway Mischief. I think Michael Brandon narrates that on Railway Mischief. I'm not sure. I'll have to put the DVD on the player one of these days. And also, Thomas's Crazy Day, some people hate that episode with a passion. But there's like a moral thing. It's not possible to do two things at the same time. Like I said, when I'm working at my work, I have to work really hard. Then I can do whatever I want at home. Because I know you're the same thing as me. You have to work really hard at your job before you can do whatever you like.
Of course.
But this one, like Thomas, that finally came up with an idea to show how he can be fun while being really useful. He shows them that really being really useful can be fun. Like I said, my work day can sometimes be fun. Me working hard at work can be fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Pop Goes Thomas, yes. And also Piggy Pongy Pickup, yes. This episode is referenced in Emily Saves the World, which we won't see till Dinos and Discoveries.
And as for Express coming through with Keith Wickham booming Dowager Hat's voice, we're later going to be on Go-Go Thomas soon.
Yeah. If we get to it, maybe. But hopefully we'll see which release we get to. Pop Goes Thomas, yes, I recommend this. At least this one, they got the copyright date correct.
Unlike Wobbly Wheels and Whistles, they messed up.
This one, it did say it's 2011, because this makes sense. This came out in March 2011. Now let's get on to the Birth Express. Where's...
Two more episodes. Sorry,
I was just saying. Hey, my thing isn't raising up anymore. My Birth Express stopped. My artwork's not bent anymore.
okay.
I was scared I was going to have to buy another copy, but now I don't have to. I had to wait for it to like this.
You got the Birthday Express.
Yeah, it reuses 2 season 12 episodes we already seen, but this one, well, let's do Perkins first. This one we have to talk about the episodes really quickly because I'm concerned. They have 2 new episodes like Percy's Parcel and Double Trouble, where they never put onto DVD, not until this release, because they had to do the episodes about birthdays.
Okay.
Like this one, like I got when I did my HMR on the Birthday Express, I did mess up saying, like when James says, "Oh dear Percy, whatever has happened to you," I should have said, "My Percy, whatever has happened to you." And yeah, Percy's Parcel I do like, and so Double Trouble, the CGI season 13 version. Like this one, like Thomas picked up someone that looked like Sir Tomat, but it turned out it was his brother Sir Loamhat, which is the only episode we get to see him.
Yeah.
But at least like Sir Tomat, the real Sir Tomat, was not crossed with Sir Loamhat and Thomas. He was really crossed at Loam for causing confusion and delay. Because he was upset at the real Sir Tomat was upset at Thomas because he was warning Thomas, "Where have you been?" But at least he didn't boom really hard. If I would have seen that, Carrie Shale, what were you doing?
And then we should have saw Michael Brandon doing the same thing when he in Thomas in the billboard. We should have been like, "Michael Brandon, what are you doing booming Sir Tomat's lines out with that gruff tone of voice like that?"
Yeah. Also, like, yes, I don't know why they had to. Well, yes, they had to reuse the Man in the Hills, one of my other least favorite episodes of season 12. But they had to put it because because it's Mr. Percival's birthday in that episode, the episode basically. And you know what episode I would have preferred? You know what episode they should have put on this instead of the party surprise? They should have put Duncan and the Hot Air Balloon, both taken from Percy and the Bandstand. This and the
Yeah, because the party surprise focuses on Christmas.
The winter holidays, basically. But this one, they could have just put Duncan and the Hot Air Balloon and the Man in the Hills. We could have just said we could have reused Duncan and the Hot Air Balloon twice.
Yeah.
But like in that episode, it's Mr. Percival's twins' birthday. Well, even though I think even though the twins are not really twins, are basically like identical twin brothers or twin sisters, but they're just two kids of a son and a daughter. So I don't know why they said it's the twins' birthday. You could have just said it's the Percival's children's birthday today. But kind of like how yes, I could have mentioned what if they just replaced the party surprise with
Duncan and the Hot Air Balloon?
Yes, and we could have only seen the party surprise on Railway Friends. And also, like, I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say. And also, like, what if the Dragon Tales one? What if they like I mentioned this with Dragon Tales say Ola to Enrique? What if they just merged?
They should have merged. They should have merged 2 parts in one full episode and put all that glitters
or the big race.
Yeah. But Sony,
sorry.
But Sony, I demand that you should not put Finn's blankie at once.
Well, they didn't do any more Dragon Tales DVDs, so they were done with it. And also, you know what episode I would have liked if they replaced No Hitter on Playing Fair Makes Playing Fun? Like ones that do with sports, basically. Like, some of them they just you play their hardest. You know what episode I know which episode they should have replaced No Hitter on Playing Fair Makes Playing Fun because that's a terrible episode. No Hitter. I think maybe say put One Big Wish because at least that one Max doesn't hit anyone. Because in that one, replace No Hitter. Like I was saying, Sony replace No Hitter with One Big Wish at once.
Yeah, like goodness gracious.
At least that one Max doesn't hit anyone in wiffle ball. He tries his hardest, but he kept growing and growing. Something kept causing him to grow bigger and bigger, and he didn't like it anymore. I wanted to consider his feelings. Like that could have just been the first episode to replace No Hitter, but go before the Me First Wizard. Okay, but now let's talk about the Perkins scenes where he tries to do talent. Like the first one, he tries to play the piano, but then that didn't work because he got a phone call from the station master saying he's trying to work and he's making a lot of noise. And then he tried to tap dance, but that didn't work either.
Then he tried to juggle, but it didn't go good.
Even he tried one of these things that isn't too bendy or squishy.
Oh, I gotta go. My phone's draining out.
Oh, it is, Jake Martin? Well, at least we got to see most of this.
Okay, I gotta go. See ya.
All right, Jake Martin, I'll keep going. You can leave. I'll keep going. All right, it's just you and me, William. For now, at least. Hopefully, yeah. Birth Express, yes, I recommend that release. I know Jake had to leave. That's unfortunately sad. Well, at least he got to stay for most of it. But yeah, Thomas in Charge is next. This one has Perkins.
I don't think
It's
I
easy
had
to
Thomas
find.
in Charge before.
Oh yeah, I like some of these episodes. Yeah, but with Perkins scenes, I'll tell you. Hold on, someone's trying to get in. Thomas MP Fan 123 is gonna get back in. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you're back, Thomas MP Fan 123. At least you get to stay. You get to come back. And Jake Martin did leave because he said his phone battery was draining. But yeah, Thomas in Charge is we're at now. This one has Perkins where he's trying to get set up for a band to play at the Knapford Bandstand, but the two other engine drivers couldn't come because there was been too much confusion and delay on the tracks with Mr. Roberts and Mr. Arkwright. And then Mr. Perkins decided to be a one-man band and wear all the instruments. Thomas in Charge, yes, I definitely say some of the episodes are decent. Thomas in Charge, the episode itself, but the description is messed up here. That's why, like, the inspectors. Let me look at. It says like the visit to Knapford, but the accident happened at the docks, not Knapford Station, when the coal trucks crashed into each other and it caused soot to go all over Thomas, Gordon, the railway inspector, and Sir Tom Hatt. And what was going on? Not Darian. I don't want this to happen again. But yeah, Toss in Charge. Yes, Henry's Good Deeds is a good episode. What else?
It's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, the Indignity. I was gonna do Gordon's impression. Oh, the Indignity. Well, it's the name of the episode because it's funny. It's the name of the episode, and Gordon keeps saying it so many times in that episode. But one thing that bothers me in this episode: why does Whiff introduce himself to Gordon, even though Gordon and Whiff met in Emily in the Garbage from season 11?
True.
Whiff could have just something else, and he could have. I'm waiting here with Scruff. They could have just taken that dog out, and Whiff could have just said, "I'm waiting here with Scruff, Gordon. I notice. My scruncher is scrunched up, Gordon." Because also, like, another thing, Gordon already met Scruff and Thomas and Scruff.
That's true, though.
Also, the final one, A Blooming Mess, where Emily thinks that Mavis is sad, but but Mavis really explained to Emily that she was too busy thinking about all the jobs she was going to be having today. That's why she was just sitting on the bridge doing nothing. She was just concerned about all the jobs she was going to have. Yeah. Charge, yes, I say. It's easy to find. I mean, well, it's easy to somewhat find. If you find it in pre-owned or brand new condition. And next up, we're going to Day of the Diesels.
And that's a good
Some
movie.
people say it's another bad movie. Some people say it's worse than Mission Rescue. I think it's better than Mission Rescue, in my opinion. Because at least it doesn't have too much rhyming. And what else?
Diesel 10 Returns. That was a cool thing.
Yeah, and not Neil Crone. Matt Wilkinson is. Some people say they prefer Matt Wilkinson's Diesel 10 voice over Crone, but I like Neil Crone's Diesel 10 voice a little bit better for Magic Railroad. Or as original Keith Scott from teaser trailer of Magic Railroad, he says, "Things are gonna change around here, Puffball." Yeah. And another thing that disturbs me, why is Thomas on the thing, even though it's Percy being the main focus in this movie? I don't know.
Or they could put both Thomas and Percy together on the cover.
Yeah, or just replace it with Percy, and I could have just said in my HMR character, and I could have said both spines of the slipcover character picture of Percy from the front, instead of just saying profile picture of Thomas. Even though Thomas is the second lead role, but Percy is the main character.
True.
Yeah, and also, yes, they also didn't put in the bonus features, because, well, even though it's in the menu when you put in the Blu-ray or DVD to watch the film, or the movie, I should say, they should they do say there's a sneak peek of the Hero of the Rails app. You pop the Blu-ray and DVD into the player to watch. And also people say that, yeah, Day of the Diesels is almost similar to Go-Go Thomas, the Day of the Diesels song. For the movie of the same name. It's kind of like Go-Go Thomas from Hero of the Rails. But yeah, luckily I found the Blu-ray of Day of the Diesels.
Need to get a
Yeah.
copy of Day of the Diesels.
Yeah, I would have just put Diesel and someone, maybe like Airy or Bird, because Mavis and Salty don't really join the Diesels taking over the Steamworks. Even though Mavis and Salty are nice characters in the movie, even though I would have liked, because they had to make Norman's bases just like Dennis's, because then we never got to see Dennis or Splatter or Dodge come back.
One second,
yeah.
please.
Okay. Oh, shoot. My bad. But yeah, I know. Do you not have David Diesel's Thomas LP fan 123? Oh, wait, he's muted. Hang on a second, guys. Hang on. Missed up on some comments. I've read all these comments while they're trying to answer some. And Thomas and PBS fan program breaker says, "Oh, you're not gonna believe who appears after the special credits." Well, I don't know what you're talking about that earlier. Yeah, sorry about all these comments, guys. Brandon Movie Channel says, "I got Thomas Reservation." That's cool, Brandon. So do I. I have the original release by Hit Entertainment, by solely. And Diesel 10 is back. Well, that was reference to Mission Rescue, Thomas and PBS program breaker. He appeared at the end of Mission Rescue, which I forgot to mention earlier because I forgot I don't know what was wrong with my comments thing earlier. My live comments were not even showing, so I had to do something to bring it back. And yeah, sorry if I posted the link to the stream in the comments again, guys. It's just to bring the comments back. But yeah. Oh, wait, those guys are muted. I have to just read more of these comments, I guess. I forgot to miss. And another one I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, Toss PBS Fan Program Breaker. You also said forgot to mention that there was one learning segment from season 10 where Henry needs to find a special coal, and you were like, I mean, come on, yeah, they should have not done that. I mean, they could have just done a regular one where it's saying where can Henry find coal to fill up on, without doing one saying he need to find a special coal. Where can he find a special coal? And Thomas the Rescue plays the shorter version of the season 8 credits, not the version on PBS. Yeah, I think why they did that on the Greatest Stories release, Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker. Yeah, copyright dates, yada yada yada. Yeah. Day of the Diesels, yes, I recommend this. If you want to see someone else being the main character, that's not Thomas. But I know some people hate Day of the Diesels, so yeah. Next up, Merry Christmas, Thomas. This first one of season 15 episodes. Yeah. The episode I disliked the most is Surprise, Surprise. Because how dare Victor tells Thomas and Charlie to shoo, even though that was Charlie's fault, yelling out his jokes so loudly. But I would imagine if Thomas derailed and Charlie was the one who had to go clean this mess up and Thomas was still derailed. Are you back, William?
I'm back.
Okay, I was just finishing up Diesels and now I'm Merry Christmas, Thomas. Second last release in 2011, but it's the first half season 15 episodes on DVD. Yeah, I did not like Surprise, Surprise that much.
The episode's okay in my opinion.
But the one thing I did like about this episode is at least this is the second time Stanley. I should have said this is the second time Stanley gets to speak in full CGI. The first one being Day of the Diesels. Day of the Diesels was Stanley's finally get to speak again in full CGI since season 12. Well, this is his second time speaking in full CGI, but this is the first episode he gets to speak in full CGI. Stanley. Anyway, yeah, Merry Christmas, Thomas. And Thomas and P fan 123 left. Yeah. Percy the Snowman, I gotta say, is cute, and Let It Snow is kind of magical as well. So I gotta say the one I dislike the most is Surprise, Surprise.
Same year. Percy the Snowman, it's a good one because I like how he gets covered in snow around his face.
Yeah. Next up, Rescue on the Rails, the last release of 2011, which has probably the worst episode, but all the other three I do kind of like. Well, one of them is my favorite, and the other two I do kind of enjoy too. Yeah, Fiery Flint has got to be the worst episode on Rescue on the Rails. Because of Sir Tomat yelling out so high at level 5 tolerance. Even when he's extremely wet. That's when he gets at level 5 tolerance. And Blue Hedgehog Man 17 says, "Hey man, hello Blue Hedgehog Man 17." But yeah. Also the other Perkins scenes on this one where Perkins getting ready for the... Oh, I forgot to mention on Merry Christmas, Thomas, the scenes where Perkins has to warm up the engine driver's common room and he got a call from Thomas and it got the fire lit up. This one, he's getting ready for a magic show for the Great Pafino, but then he had to take place of the Great Pafino because he was delayed on the mainland.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then finally we get to see a lot of people in the engine driver's common room. Basically joining
Even
this
a lot of actions for Tom Hat too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and they got to watch the Great Perkino this time instead of the Great Pafino. Yeah. But yeah. And I also do like the episodes Edward the Hero and Stop That Bus as well.
Those are two good ones as well.
Yeah, Edward trying to think he can be strong, fast, and stern, but luckily he learned he can just be himself and still made him a hero. But yeah, Rescue on the Rails, that's the last one of 2011. Next up, got Curious Cargo. Released on the 7th of January 2012. This one, Perkins. Funniest one is when Perkins, he tries to scrub the plates and he does it way too fast, and it causes some of them to break. And Light Blue Yoshi Fan 02 says, hey, Light Blue Yoshi Fan 02. Yeah, and he tried again, but then he goes slowly, scrub, slow. Oh, you're right. One clean, unbroken plate. Slow it down works, doesn't it? Thank you. It goes slow, slow, slow. It goes clean, clean. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, when Sir Tomat called him at the very end, the inspection got canceled. Like, even like another one before that last scene. Yeah. And of course, like, Mr. Perkins just chills in the engine driver's common room after, even though the inspection was not going to be happening after all. He decides to chill and read a magazine, and yeah. Yeah. And this one, I forgot to mention on the line of Soda, this has the CGI version of Determination. It's also on this release and Animals Aboard, I think. Hold on. Yeah. This Animals Aboard and Line of Soda used the Determination CGI version. Unlike another release we'll see with full CGI, but it's going to use the model version of Determination. But yeah. And the Find What Doesn't Belong game is on this release, just like on Thomas and the Runaway Kite. But yeah, I know some people said they didn't like Big Bell.
Big Bell's not so bad.
Big Bell's not too bad. I mean, at least it's better than Fiery Flynn, in my personal opinion. Toss's Tall Friend is good. I mean, and Percy's New Friends is cute, and Toby and Bash is a cool episode. It's decent. Yeah. Curious Cargo. It's a cool release. I say give this one a try. But oh boy, here's some people's least favorite release of all time, Up, Up, and Away.
I'm glad I didn't get the DVD because it has Wobbly Whistle.
Oh, you don't like Wonky Whistle? That's what makes me laugh. Every time Thomas makes that wonky whistle sound every time.
Well, I mean, it's a cool episode, but at first I hate it for a moment, but looking back now as an adult, I'm like, his wobbly whistles are silly but hilarious.
Yeah. Up, Up, and Away, the episode itself is definitely the worst. Because seriously, why would you put a big balloon on a giant flatbed? Oh. That is so unrealistic. But at least the funniest line was when the big balloon hits all the passengers' hats off. And I don't know why Michael Brandon says all the hats were hatless. Even though he could have just said all the passengers were hatless. But of course, Kevin the Steamy is also funny too. Where Kevin tries to be in charge this time. Kind of a different version of Steamy Sodor. And yeah, Emily and Dash, where Emily chuffs up her cheeks to try and tweet whistles. That's funny.
I about burst out laughing when I first saw that.
Yeah. And also the Perkins scenes where Perkins is trying to get some carrots grown to take to the fruit and vegetable show. And he tried to pull some out, but one was somewhat little and he was really upset. But then luckily one he tried to pull out because it was kind of stuck in there. He tried his hardest and he pulled one out and it was really huge. He ended up winning a prize.
Big.
That was a ginormous carrot. But yeah. Up, Up, and Away. Oh, I'd probably say don't recommend this, or if you want some of the episodes you do like, then be my guest and pick this release up. But I know you said yes, William, you're probably not going to get it.
Yep. Because Up, Up, and Away is kind of weird in my opinion. Like, what would happen if Thomas and Percy goes, whoop, go up in the sky?
It would be kind of funny if you ask me. But yeah.
They'd be like,
but they didn't do it because
we're flying. We can't get down. And then someone with a slingshot, and they threw a stone at the balloon, and they land normally on the tracks.
Yeah. But let's move on to Engine Friends, which hopefully we'll get to talk about some good stuff this time now.
Mm-hmm.
Model series stuff again. This is the last episodic release to have model series episodes laid entirely out of models.
I remember getting that as a present in 2012.
Wow, that was cool. Like, for your birthday or for Christmas?
Well, it was a sixth grade graduation present. I remember one of my teachers gave me a 20, and then, or was it 40? I don't remember. But I remember they gave me that, and then me and my dad or my mom, I think it was me and my dad, I don't remember. But we went shopping, and I went to the DVD section to see, I wonder what DVDs there news should I get. And then I saw Engine Friends. I was like, oh, what's this? And I picked it up, and it was Engine Friends, and it says, oh, this is a new Mall series DVD. We haven't had these in a while. So I said, oh, why not? And I picked it up, took it home, and I enjoyed it. It was
Nice.
one of my favorites.
Because, well, I luckily have a new copy because mine got water damaged, and luckily this is in better condition, like I said. I have a slipcover. But I know you probably didn't get yours with the slipcover when you got it from the store years ago, 11 years ago.
I think it was in the slipcover. I think it was or wasn't. I don't remember. I
Okay.
think it did.
Because I think if you got it when it came out, it came with a slipcover. I bought this secondhand copy off of eBay. But yeah, at least we got some cool versions of narrated of episodes we never got on DVD before. We got Safe and Scrap and A New Friend for Thomas and Trouble in the Shed narrated by Ringo Starr on DVD finally.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we get? We also finally got Emily's New Coaches, Michael Brandon version, even though it's the revised music version, even though they could just use the classic series version.
Mm-hmm. What's Hide and Peep? That's on there, along with Follow That Flower.
Toby's Afternoon Off, as well as Emily in the Garbage. And,
yeah.
Well, even though they reuse Edward Strikes Out at least, but it's just one episode we've on disc 2 that we've already seen before, but the 4 other ones are new. But yeah, there's like lots of things to talk about this release, and like yes, these games have been taken from previous releases. Like Sir Tom Matt's Scrapbook is the version 2. Picture Puzzle Fun is from Really Brave Engines. Who Am I is from the earliers in Percy Ghostly Trick. Gordon's Memory Game is from Best of Gordon, Toss Gets Tricked. And I should actually put a piece of paper over this saying spot the difference and see if I can type it out through the paper thing in small font saying it should be which island picture is different. It's not the spot the difference from Tales from the Tracks. It's actually which island picture is different from James the Red Balloon. I was like, seriously, what the heck, Entertainment or whoever made this? Could you just realize that's a different game from the other one? Yeah, this one says featuring all-star storytellers Alec Baldwin, George Carlin, and more, but they also have Ringo Starr and Michael Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the last release we get to see episodes narrated by Ringo Starr, George Carlin, and Alec Baldwin. But Michael Brandon will still be the narrator from up until a certain release. It's still Michael Brandon. Yeah, and unlike the Thomas Toy Workshop release, Michael Brandon does say the episode titles aloud. On Caden Zaref says, "Do you wish Hasbro fixed Thomas?" I definitely agree, man. Caden Zaref.
That would be better for Thomas. All Engine Skill could go.
Yeah, I think there's going to be I heard next year they might release. That Caden told me there's going to be our live action Toss a Tangent film releasing in the theaters in 2024 next year. I
can't wait to see that. I hope it's some good story plot on that movie.
I mean, hopefully I don't know how they're gonna make it in live action style. It'd be kind of cool, but they could just make Thomas do it around real life Thomas bases without using faces in the real life world. But maybe I'll see what it looks like once it comes out next year. But yeah, Engine Friends. Also, yes, I told you the 2 season 9 episodes. Michael Brandon does say the titles aloud. Finally, Thomas and the Rainbow and Thomas and the Statue. But there's an error at the beginning of Thomas and the Statue. It has this first shot of Thomas and the new engine, but he says it Thomas the Statue.
I remember, I won't forget about that. I remember watching it for the first time when it shows Thomas and the new engine or whatever she said it was. I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't the right episode. And then when it cut to the outro episode, I'm like, wait a minute. What did you do, Lionsgate? What on earth did you do? And then my mom's like, what? And I showed her, and she said, well, that's a funny error.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yes, this one, like the stories, they play the engine roll call at the end of every season 9 through 11 episode instead of just doing it after the last, all of the episodes are done, like the greatest stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Engine Friends, definitely really good last mainstream release for a send off to the entirety of the models entirely. If we get, but I'm not because I'm including main releases. No bonus model or other stuff will be included. And Caden Zerf says, should Hasbro release the Adventures of Thomas? That would be cool if they did, because when we had another toy company releasing it, yeah. And Thomas and Friends fan 2007 says, I have that DVD. So do I, Thomas and Friends fan 2007. Luckily, it's not the Universal re-release, because I'm surprised Greatest Stories didn't get a Universal re-release, but this release did for some reason. Didn't you hear that, William, that Engine Friends got a re-release by Universal, but luckily you got the original Lionsgate version?
Well, I didn't heard about that because when it comes to Universal reprints, mostly I know on other releases, except for Engine Friends, Greatest Stories, and other ones. But I know that some has a Universal reprint is New Friends Thomas, Bills and Chills, Get Strict, Halloween Adventures, Snowy Surprise, Ultimate Christmas, It's Great to Be an Engine, and a few more. But I don't know about Engine Friends though.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I know on this DVD, on the Make Someone Happy episode, after Alec Baldwin says the line, except for James, he doesn't smack his lips. Unlike on Make Someone Happy, he does. But yeah. Engine Friends, a good send-off episodic release for the completely model trains of Thomas entirely. Yes, but and this is in loving memory of. Hold on, Kane Surf says, "Do I like Nia? I kind of like Nia from the Blubba movie itself, but starting from seasons 23 through 24, she's just unnecessary to be like as a member of the Steam team. They could just use her as like just an ordinary train character and just let Henry and Edward still be in the Steam team." But yeah, like they said, yeah, let's hold this to contribute the models for the last time being on DVD with episodes, even though there's a release we'll get to much later when I get to it, hopefully next time for this collection, but I'm going to probably do a different stream the Friday after on something else. There will be a release that will have them in the sing-along songs, the original models. But yeah, this one, yep, let's hold this for the contribution, the models, and a main release for the last time. And yes, in loving memory of George Carlin, the Reverend W. Audrey, David Mitten, and maybe Robin Smith. Yeah, because this release has Robin Smith narrating the games. Yes, rest in peace, Robin Smith, George Carlin, David Mitten, and the Reverend W. Audrey. Yep, Engine Friends, there it is. We'll miss the models entirely until for something else that might show them again. And yeah. And I think for this last release, I'm not so sure. We'll just wrap it up with Schoolhouse Delivery, released in July 2012, just a while before Blue Mountain Mystery came out to Blu-ray.
I got that for Christmas in 2012. Or was it 2013? I think it was 2012, if I remember.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I wanted to get this DVD before I went into high school, because I could have just asked my mom and dad to get me this for me. I could have just said, Mom, Dad, can I have this release? I was like, why do you want that release, son? I was like, it's episodes I remember seeing on TV, and I want them on DVD. And I should have done that, but honestly, it doesn't matter now. I just did it myself anyway, because I'm a grown-up. Even though I'm focusing on, like I said, I'm focusing on getting my own house soon. Apartment, basically.
Wish I had a place of my own too, brother.
I'm working on getting it right now. I'm working on doing it right now because, I want to be able to do my streams and videos much easier.
Yeah, or if me and my family ever move, I would make my garage like if I had the garage as my own bedroom, I'd make it like a one-bedroom apartment. Like design like a one-bedroom apartment.
It's kind of silly if you ask me, but yeah, Schoolhouse Delivery, it has one of my favorite season 14 episodes of all time, being Percy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know why people hate Being Percy, but I like it. Yeah, a lot of people say this era is weird. It's like Thomas and Charlie are they're like in like some woods next to a forest with this Brendan Bay Shipping Company docks building, but it's supposed to be like by the ocean. Hayden Seraph says, "Have you heard the new Thompson character from All Engines Go? Bruno's the first Thompson character to have autism? Huh? I mean, I didn't know it's something to have character from Thomas having autism before.
I think there was one trying to be on Soror. What was his name? He kind of looked like Fergus. What was
Oh,
his-
Theo?
yeah, that's his name. I remember now. Theo. I was like, what was the name of that guy? He was like Fergus, but then Theo just like, oh yeah, that was that guy who was with Lexi.
Yeah. Yeah, also like when this one, yeah, Happy Hero, this is like really looks like the mini sequel to Hero of the Rails, when Hero is really sad about missing his home. And yeah, Henry's health and safety, Henry needs to know better, learns that health and safety have a time and a place. But yeah. And yeah, like I know there's lots of apples in crates, but it's supposed because it's supposed to be decorative because this is like just learning. Like these episodes teach kids to get to the head of their classes in school, but this one is just teaching important lessons, trains.
True that.
It's called Schoolhouse Delivery, and it just teaches the engines lessons to get their children to the head of the class. But yeah, and the Mr. Perkins, he's trying to Jarvis make it look colorful by painting a picture of some tomatoes, and he messes up 3 times. But luckily, he turned the 3 splattered canvases into a big colorful picture of James, the brightest red engine ever.
And he didn't say bye at the end, which he just said, I think it looks splendid. Don't you agree? Or something like that. Then looks back at the painting.
Yeah, he doesn't even say, don't you? Well, I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Yeah, he could have just said that. Oh, Thompson PBS fan program breaker says, I believe Diesel Special Delivery is on this release. Oh yeah, that's right. It is on this release. I forgot to talk about that episode where Diesel wants to be clapped and cheered just like James, and he finally did it when he did the right thing by doing his job, taking the slate to the children's school when there were holes in the roof. But yeah. And Zerf asked, do I like Mr. Perkins? Yes, I do. I think he and Mr. Arkwright are both the best engine drivers. Because, some people say they don't really care for CGI Thomas seasons 12 through 24, but they do like the interactive things with Perkins and Arkwright.
Mr. Arkwright is pretty cool, and so is Mr. Perkins. We'd always remember those 2 awesome guys.
Yeah, but even though Ben Forster, may he rest in peace now.
I think Mr. Arkwright's actor's still alive. That's Robert Slade or J.O. where his name is.
Yeah, it's Robert Slade who played Arkwright.
Yeah, Slade. I forgot now. Not good at remembering names sometime.
Yeah, I know.
I won't forget my first time. I won't forget my first time watching Mr. Arkwright. Like I'm trying to remember. The year was 2009, and I went to, what was the name of that store? Oh yeah, Sam's Club. I went to Sam's Club, and I saw
Sam's
the new
Club.
French Thomas Jr. And I was like, this was cool. So I picked up the new French Thomas DVD, and when I got home, and after in every single CGI DVD, they would show the Island of Sodor, like they say hello Thomas, and then the program starts, So
Yeah.
when the Mr. Perkins segment, so when Mr. Arkwright's scenes came on, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought I'm watching an ordinary Thomas DVD. But when they show pictures of Thomas, I'm like, oh wait, this is something new for a change. I thought it was something else. I thought it was going to be where it is on behind the scenes or something like that. But it's driver segments, and I'm like, oh, so this is what they're doing to these DVDs.
Darian, people are trying to join. No, I'm not going to bother adding them. Like I said before, I don't want to experience any of those problems ever again. But yeah, I think we'll wrap up part 2 of this stream with Schoolhouse Delivery. Since we got farther this time, part 2 of the whole, showing off almost all the Thomas main releases. So yeah, I think we'll wrap this up with Schoolhouse Delivery. What time is it? Oh yes, 9:26, William. I think we'll wrap this part up with Schoolhouse Delivery, if you. Because I said, yeah, I think I like to stop before possibly 10 o'clock. So I think we'll wrap up part 2. We got all the way to Schoolhouse Delivery this time. So I think we'll put, this will be it. We'll wrap up with Schoolhouse Delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, since it's getting closer to 9:30, I think we'll end off this stream with part 2 of me showing off part 2 of my Thomas Home Media Collection, the 2023 edition. So I think if you want to go ahead and leave, William, since I wanted to wrap up with Schoolhouse Delivery.
Sure thing. See you in part 3, by the way, bro.
Yeah, it'll come soon. Or unless I do something else. Part 3 will come before you know it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you go, William. I'll go into Thomas and PBS program breaker saying, when am I gonna do part 3? I think I'm gonna do that some other time, Thomas and PBS fan program breaker, because I think I want to do my Dragon Tales, the 2023 edition, the second edition, where I do have all the Dragon Tales DVD releases now. Like I mentioned before, yes, I have all the Dragon Tales DVDs leading up to our Amazing Pets now. So I will probably do. I'll probably do a part 3, probably on the, hopefully after. I really want to do that for your birthday or something, Thomas and PBS fan program breaker. Okay, yeah. See ya, Thomas and PBS fan program breaker. So, anyways, that's gonna be it for part 2, everyone, of this stream of me going up to a certain amount of releases as Thomas, my whole Thomas Home Media Collection for part 2. Hopefully, stick around for part 3 coming up eventually soon, because I would like to try something different. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed joining in part 2 of me showing my whole Thomas Home Media Collection, getting up to a specific release. This time we left off, we're ending up with Schoolhouse Delivery. So hopefully you guys enjoyed joining me for part 2 of this stream of me showing my whole Thomas Home Media Collection, the 2023 edition. Hopefully stick around for a part 3 coming up eventually soon, because I would like to try something else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed sticking around for part 2, and hopefully stick around for part 3 coming eventually soon, everyone. So see you guys next time. Movie and Game Lover 98 is going to say goodbye, and stick around for part 3, excuse me, stick around for part 3, everyone, of the Thomas Home Media Collection, the whole version of the stream coming eventually soon, because I would like to try something else. So goodbye for now, everyone. And once again, thanks for some people joining my stream.